stopped here. They stopped here.
Baby, wait, I know that you're afraid, but it'll be okay if you just stay with me. We can run from here and we can disappear, and they won't find us where we are going, dear. So baby, hold on to me. Shine a light to make you believe something that only we can see. Oh, so baby, hold on to me. Hold on to me.
It's like midnight. Pretty sure.
Oh yeah, they crashed their car right now. Classic's just staring at them, bro. Classic, what are you? She got out.
I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die.
There's a girl.
Did
on
it,
top.
did it,
There's a girl
die.
here.
Yeah. Did it, die. Did it, die. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it, die. Wait. Did it, die.
I literally had
Whatever
someone-
you want, I'll be whatever you want. Just tell me you love me or not, whatever it costs. I know I'm talking a lot, there's something I gotta get off. Don't wanna be this no more, I don't wanna drink no more.
Yeah,
Always
yeah,
gotta
talk
do
about
the most, thinking that I'm insecure. Really should've listened more, but I don't, of course. I'm an asshole, I'm a good guy, I'm your best friend, I'm the worst type. Tell you everything that you heard right, just so I can fuck on the first night. Feel like I'm losing hope, running from coast to coast. I don't know where to go, this all I've ever known. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. No, did it, die. Wait, did it, die. Wait, did it, die. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Won't die. Did it, die. Wait, did it, die. Wait, did it, die. My aunt think I'm perfect, I know I'm not. My mama be worried, I told her stop. They know I did drugs and think that I'm off. Little do they know I never could stop. My manager hate when I'm pulling up late. Back on my bullshit, she think it's a phase. I got relations I gotta maintain. I'm two different people, my side and my main. Yeah, I'm sober, I'm an addict, I'm a low life, I got habits, but I refuse to be average. Really so tired of acting, don't know what I miss no more. Too bad you don't hit me more. I'm bad when I get too bored, careful what you wishing for. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. No, did it, die. Wait, did it, die. Wait, did it, die. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Won't die. Did it, die. Wait, did it, die. Wait, did it, die.
I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die.
When it hurts like this, we climb the greatest heights, jump down and have a fight, and that's all we'll ever like. But that can never change my mind. When it's good, it's amazing. When it's bad, it's uneasy. been chilling, watching the ocean with you. Baby, up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our cloudlands when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding. And I'll be running, possessed by a low, low voodoo. Fired up like a wolf on a full moon. And we're stuck in a la la land. The tides will turn without us. And I'll be killing time like I might be a cartoon. Take it in real life like haiku. I know we got the good vibes when pieces fall right into place. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding. Play me like a bass guitar, simmer down and mess me up, tripping like I'm Jimmy at Woodstock. Drive me around in your red Ford, shivers down my spinal cord. Oh. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny.
Hi guys, so it's just gonna be me today. I think Imperium was busy. He let me know like a long time ago that he can only do Monday through Thursday this week, but it's gonna be me and you guys watching these teams play in PMPL Trovo Invitational. So this is day number 10, and you guys saw the score. I had the scores up for the entire time, like intro into this so you guys could see it. Basically yesterday we had the hit list ending in first place with like, I think it was like 60 some points, like a lot of points. And then 19 esports in second, which I think is like the second time being second place, but very excited to watch these teams again. This is day number 10 again. And after today, we'll be over halfway over at a 19 total matches. So game just started. Let's get on in. So this is going to be, and just give me 1 second. So this is going to be Irango from, let's see, it's going to be all the way up from Stauber down to past the Gatka area. I'm just going to leave on the map for a little bit so you guys can see where all these teams are setting themselves up for this first match today. Alrighties, we have Zexus going down. I tend to see them dropping a little bit more like prison, kind of mansion area. Knights going to Yasnaya Yo all the way up. So this is the first, I think this is one of the first times I've seen Yo actually land in Severny in terms of we keep having plane paths that are just a little bit too far away that they've had to get in their cars and drive all the way up to Severny, losing a lot of really precious early game time to be able to, you know, they could have spent looting in here. So they're going to be setting themselves really up well in this match, just in terms of being able to have like an additional 2 minutes of looting. All right, just watching Knights kind of run around. All right, trying to see here. Ghost Gaming over in Pachinki. Wall Street Bets, and this happened yesterday too. King A landed very, very close to Pachinki, and we saw him do this exactly yesterday too in that exact same compound syndicate over in South Georgia Pool area. And Boeing Protocol, remember yesterday we had them land in the school apartments with Illuminati just to contest them in the last game. Looks like they're going to just go back to their normal spot on the map, which is going to be kind of up in the northwestern side of the circle. All right, Godsent driving up over to the shelter area. I'm just gonna work on my audio real quick. Just give me 1 second. Okay, Trey, we have just going all over the shelter area. I'm waiting for it. Oh, okay, I said this so many times to Imperium, and I was saying I'm waiting for this military base circle, and it's finally okay, maybe it could be totally debating me. It could still land on the main island potentially, but I wanted to see this one. Knights, I think they're like, we should have gone to their other drop spot, which is over kind of by the military base, just barely onto the island. I see the hit list, and I believe looks like it's the hit list, and it is going to be the hit list and the Panthers, I guess one of them being a little bit too close to the other. I think you can see the green box on the ground over there. So the hit list watching this vehicle, seeing one of the members of the I almost said the pants list. I don't know, the hit list and the Panthers, I just like combined their names just now. But the Panthers going, you know, just kind of freely, not really anticipating anybody in their general area, trying to go for this vehicle, thought it was free. And then Baba and Billa, which yesterday I just found out, this is actually Flash on the hit list. He changed his name. He told me yesterday that there was another player, I think it was on Pro Era, some other team that also had the name Flash. So his teammate started calling him like Bob and Billa mid-game one time, and it just kind of stuck. So this is the hit list Flash under a new name, new tournament, new name, new play style. Alrighties, the Panthers going to be centering up right into the C block of military base. King A still just going from one compound to the other, just getting as much loot as possible. He's pretty well set up right now. Looks like Scar L UMP level 2, everything at level 3 helmet as well. And actually a surprise, I did not expect that many meds that he was going to get, but he definitely needs to get back with the rest of his team before Illuminati vacate the premises of school. All right, let's go ahead and see. Watching Syndicate. All right, Syndicate on the move. We have, trying to see where exactly they might be going. They start as a 3-man though, so they're not going to have, you know, the full force of Team Syndicate playing in the match. Ghost Gaming just barely behind Wow, guys, I cannot speak today. I think it's today at work. I didn't really speak to anybody. It was a very kind of quiet day. So this is like my first time really speaking today. So I'm just kind of tripping over all my words. But Ogilvy, just making sure that there isn't a team right in front of them at all. And it seems like Ghost, they might be both of them kind of funneled right on top of each other. Or Ghost, I think, just back in. So both of these teams just kind of making sure that they get as much information as possible before they attempt to cross the bridge. And Ghost Gaming, they're getting some information. Ogilvy just one step ahead of them, and they might be, they might be waiting just a little bit longer before they attempt to cross. Or Ghost Gaming actually maybe seeing, is this actually going to end up being a military base circle, or is it going to come back onto the main island? We have Team Yo also starting out as a 3-man. Now we have Yo coming up. Spray just one step behind him as the Knights are starting to rotate out of Yasnaya. All right, Ogilvy just kind of up on top. Trying to get back in my rhythm of solo casting this one. Spec really just does not miss those. Glad just kind of peeking out of the window, and then Spec, and I think Mini 8 times. Yeah, I think just hit him twice right in the chest, and Glass is not gonna peek that one anytime soon. All right, Godsent, they're going to be waiting on to this little cliff here. So the good thing about this cliff, and I've seen this, if you guys remember, Wildcard would do this all the time back last season, where they would come from Severny, they'd kind of land here. Was it Wildcard? Was it EFC? They would come, and they're just right here. If it stays up north, then you'll have entry. They're already on the right side of this kind of waterway. And then if it shifts down to the military base, they give away, give up on all their cars, go straight into the water, swim across, and it's kind of the shallow, or the skinniest, least amount of land for them to swim across and kind of breach the beach and then get up onto the military base island. All right, Illuminati, King Hua, AZ. Illuminati staying very, very close together. I think all of them are just kind of, they don't put all their money into this yet. Oh, the hit list. Did I see somebody take a little bit of I think maybe it was one of them were hitting themselves, but the hit list doing the boat rotation. We've seen this so many times from various different teams in the last year do this kind of rotation. But this time, all of them just kind of waiting a couple more seconds for this circle to shift. Kind of proud of these teams. Nothing, no action quite yet. So being pretty disciplined and staying away from each other. The circle shifts onto the western bridge, but this is still, it's a little bit more space onto the main island, but it's still anybody's guess on where this is going to go. The hit list, though, I'm thinking like, maybe we should go back in the boat, go back from where we came in Fury Pier. We shall see. Ogilvy actually was a really, really nice spot for them because they're the keepers of this bridge. They're the tollways here. They're saying if you want to cross this bridge, you're gonna have to pay me $5 to make it across from either way. The ones on the south is going to be the Panthers. We have Syndicate taking up into Fury Pier after they dropped into the South Georgia Pole Crates area. Now creeping up just a little bit. On the really, really far bridge, just in case. But I've seen teams also kind of split up on there's a couple of rocks out kind of in the water, and seeing especially if we have seen circles here where it's shifted down kind of on the peninsula right by where the Panthers are, and we've seen some teams kind of camp out up there and have huge vantage points about any of the little turtles swimming in the water. Knights Coops actually getting knocked and flushed from Steve-O just right on the edge of farm, coming in from Yasnaya. So definitely, I think, landing in their original drop spot, not their secondary one on the military base. So they've got quite the rotation to get all the way over there. Looks like Chico is going to be backing up just a little bit after losing one of their star players. By the way, guys, If you guys haven't already, go on Twitter, go wish Knights Xenox a very happy birthday. It is his birthday today. As he gets knocked, maybe a birthday present from Wall Street Bets is going to be, you know, oh, we'll let you get revived here. But he definitely is looking for the pat on the back from the rest of his team. We have Illuminati also coming in very close to the party. I think they recognize this kind of half fight between Knights and the Wall Street Bets. So they're just gonna, they know, they saw it on the kill feed, they know one is dead. They heard the shots together, were able to put the pieces together where this is definitely going to be Knights. Only 2 players in this compound that I like how in sync that Kinghua and AZ are together right here. Xenox actually does get flushed out by Baba, so nothing for the birthday boy today. 2 players left remaining from the Knights as Illuminati is working together to kind of flush it all out cohesively. AZ actually completely missing the shack where I think that was Alucard or Chico was waiting right behind. Yeah, it's going to be Chico, but he does spot him out. He gets the knock right there. So 1 player left alive. That's going to be Alucard, quickly getting in the buggy and putting a lot of distance between him and the other team. Right down here, we have Team Xset coming in from the Milta Power area, and I believe this is going to be let's see, J7 getting knocked, Killswitch coming in. We're joking because Killswitch was right in the chat right as the game was starting that he was coming to stream snipe, but all jokes, guys, all jokes. J7 getting revived now from Killswitch. Polo and J-Way still left alive as this next circle is about to close on in one more time for our 3rd phase circle, or the 2nd phase circle. But again, closing, there is still like I don't know, there's still a slight chance it might come onto the military base, but I think most of the players, and you can see the majority of the teams, are going to be on the main island, putting most of their chips in for the next circle shift to be up onto that side. Except they're going to be needing to get across the bridge somehow. Remember, Ogilvy is on the other side, and they have the Panthers kind of might be shooting at them in the back, so they definitely do not want to get trapped on the bridge, potentially, where we have 2 different teams on either side shooting at them. Polo, he does see illusions, forcing him away from his position with the M16 burst 6 times. I'm sure it's turned down to a 3 as Killswitch continues to stalk this player of the Panthers, but I think they haven't found him quite yet. The hit list too, remember they took the boat rotation all the way to the southern island, and the circle actually shifted up onto the northern side, so this was not favorable for them at all. Jachi, though, this might be their chance to pick off a couple of kills, as this is actually probably the first team that they've even seen this entire match so far. Alucard looks like he is sending the shack just across the street from where Ghost Gaming is. Xset under fire a little bit from the other members of the hit list. Right. Kill switch just coming around a little bit. Actually, Xset is very, very kind of split up over here. More split up than I thought they would be from having such a having a team so close to them. But Killswitch, I think, meeting up with the rest of them. Ogilvy actually finding a knock onto Jag from so when Ghost Gaming rotated away a little bit further into the center of the circle, just a tiny bit closer to Fairy Pier, Godson recognized this, landed in the shelter area, and came up right behind them and took up into the blue stacks right where Ghost Gaming was previously. Ogilvy, maybe, do they even know that this is a whole separate different team? Beowulf actually running in, and I was scared for it because Beowulf clearly went by himself over here. Probably had the information. Did he have the information that Alucard came in after him? Probably saw the buggy and came in for the kill to finish off Knights in 15th position. The rest of Ghosts coming in, I think he's saying, hey, who needs some 5s? Who needs whatever out of the crate from Alucard? Mooring protocol from the North Georgia Pole, or far north Georgia Pole area. Instead of, I've seen them go into the Zarky area. I've seen them go to school. I think the school is just kind of a one-off, trying to bully Illuminati a little bit. But Kaisk keeping the eye out onto the nearest team, which is going to be Ghost Gaming. This circle is about to close one more time, about to shift into the 4th circle. Wall Street Bets getting a knock onto Illuminati King Hua. both of these two teams landing fairly close to each other, kind of in school, and then separate, to the field just to the west. Team actually does get flushed out as Illuminati is now under fire from Mazex's circle, shifting back over to Ogilvy and Godson. Ghost Gaming needs to come back just a tiny little bit. They will have the compound, but Godson is actually in a pretty nice spot. That I'm going to predict that Godson's going to place pretty high here because they're on kind of their side of the world. No team is going to wide rotate over into that direction. Clearly, there's a team over there already, and they're going to be able to avoid kind of the mass majority of teams here. But everyone else onto the military base is kind of the rat race to get across the bridge. The Hitless and Team Xset now both on the bridge at the exact same time. Jachi does find Polo, has him about halfway help, but Polo just returning the shots right back onto them, and it's the 1 versus 1 ring around the rosy around this little tower. Jadway does get knocked as Polo did get the knock onto Jachi, but the Hitless had one player coming in fast and furious. I didn't know this was Tokyo Drift, and comes and runs over one of the players of Team Access. So it's going to be Kill Switch and going to be J7 left alive. Actually, Kill Switch coming down from the bridge and shooting from the water gets a knock onto one, and it's going to be the Hitless. Currently in shambles. J7 up on top, looking to, I think, heal up a little bit. He's awfully slow about it. Gets the first aid up. Jachi did revive it, or get revived from Trickster as he just gets the first aid. So it's a fair kind of two versus two. I say the advantage here is going to be definitely Accept because they have them all surrounded. They now know the numbers here are going to be in their favor as Trickster, the last one left alive. Kill Switch looks like he is not quite aware where the last one is, but maybe he was going for the flush onto Jachi. It's going to be up to J7 getting the revive onto J-Way and just spraying through the smoke. He has to get him at some point. That's going to be the Hitless going out next within the lobby. Ghost. 4 kills found. I believe one of them was onto Illuminati. Wall Street Bets also rotating through. Team Boring Protocol focusing their attention onto Team Syndicate. Kai's seeing Salty through the wall. Kai's actually, Salty just very, very narrowly avoiding getting knocked, but finally does as he was just kind of completely unaware of the angle from Kais. I'm going to see that it looks like the Panthers onto an island as well, but Team Syndicate, Asan, only one who made it in. They just barely, had a little bit of cover from the top, just a little bit of the kind of decline in the land. The Team Syndicate, though, is going to be Teddy C that's going to get revived and Salty to bleed on out into the water. Team Zax is also having a very, very tough time trying to get in the circle between 19 Esports and Ghost. Chat is saying it's my fault that Knights died, but maybe Knights is just that bad. Sorry, not sorry. All jokes. Yo, 3 players, Purge, Spray, Iris. We see 19 Esports. 19 Esports, with the addition of Juicy, just has become, I mean, clearly they've had a very, very consistent last couple of days, finished out in second place 2 days in a row, and I think winning one of the nights as well. We have Mazexis, Kino, last one is going to be, almost last one going to be Dead. Starlight now. Seeing his previous team, 19 Esports, right on next to him. He's going to be camping this bush using a first aid. No boost to be had at all. So the most he can get up to is about 75% health. Circle shifting right into the middle. Now focusing onto Wall Street Bets and Ogilvy. They all went up onto the compound on the hill. I don't know if I would agree with that because now you're all kind of trapped up there. Wall Street Bets very spread out over the little kind of dips on the hill right in the middle of the circle. Okay. Now we are seeing that Mazexis Starlight. I mean, how many smokes does he even have? Actually, they're actually not the last player left alive. One of his teammates sent it into the water. We have the play zone finding illusions from the Panthers. 19 Esports, a little bit split up. 2 of them full sending it into the middle. And remember, I think, was it 19 Esports that had a really tough time doing this in the last game of the night yesterday? Remember, all 4 of them sent it in the shack. Only barely one survived and had to revive some of those other teammates in a wrangle yesterday. Exit J-Way clears some smokes coming out here. Oops. Let me turn on my guided access. But Exit J-Way, M249, if your team is not up to full health, I would definitely be wanting the M249 in your hand to use against your enemies. All right, so they're going to be focusing on Syndicate right behind them, and then Pro Era up on top of the bridge, looking down onto them. Ogilvy also having huge vantage points in this circle. All right, J7 and J-Way, I'd be a little bit scared over here. Definitely the ones into the water are going to be, marking it out for the other teammates. Start shooting right here. J7 finds one of the players of Team Syndicate, but there's still one more person right behind him. Kill switch does get flushed out. J7 just making sure he's providing the smoke cover to be able to revive J. All right, Godsend Salt finding a member of Yo. It's going to be Purge and Iris left alive, trying to go for the revives, but the Molotovs are totally unrelentless from Godsent, Nemesis, Jag, Trey, and Salt. 0 kills found so far, but still having all 4 players left up on their team. I really want to see the same exact performance from, remember the last game yesterday in Aringa was such a dominating performance from Godsent. All right, Trey just waiting, just barely inside. Almost everyone is in. Spec is actually going to be coming on the hill, slightly outside of the circle, as his partner, or as his IGL Beowulf does get a knock onto Juicy from on the northern side of the circle. 19 Esports all just using that one check as protection. Circle is going to close one more time. This time, okay, so Wall Street Bets and then Ogilvy Glass. I'm liking his positioning there, but basically aside from these 2 teams, no one else is in the circle. We have 11 teams. I would bet, as this next circle, once it does completely close, we're going to be down to maybe 5 or 6 teams left alive. There's just not that much room at all in this final circle. Purge, lots of pressure on him. Blue zone just barely against his back, looking to get a knock and potentially carve out a way for him to get a little bit closer into the circle. I mean, they're all clumped up together here. One grenade from Godsend, if they have any more left, would surely, finish the deal. Purge going back and grabbing his car, crashing it just a little bit. But I mean, he might just get knocked to the blue zone. Got him while he was trying to rearrange the car to try to get in. Ghost Gaming identified that the weakness is going to be on the northern side. 19 Esports not all the way full house. Spray actually knocking Nemesis and Trey and Jag. Was that one grenade finishing off or knocking at least the majority of Godsend? I'm so sorry I missed it. I'm going to see this clip later on Twitter when he's definitely going to be posting this. So and Trey now need to find a way in, but you just have no idea, no way to gather information of exactly where all these players are in this final little circle. Tensa just pulling the car up just a little bit, getting ready to send something if they can get a potential knock. Spray actually now having Jag bleed on out, all 4 of them in the same car. They're going to be crashing it now. Wall Street Bets just barely inside, having the name pre-cooked already. Tensa making sure he's able to get just inside and not getting shot from the side. Tensa has Jagger getting a knock. Gets a knock onto Stevo though, so Wall Street Bets. Tensa quickly finishing his food, finishing the kills that he can. And Wall Street Bets, it's going to be only Drago left alive in the sniper tower as 19 Esports taking this opportunity to crash up on right behind Ghost Gaming after they are getting having multiple players knocked from Wall Street Bets. All right, Tensa quickly throwing Molotovs, trying to buy just a couple more seconds here to be able to get the revives on his team. He's telling Jay, come on upstairs so I can get your revives. Spec just, playing defensively here down on the first floor, waiting for 19 Esports to maybe make the mistake of coming inside and not knowing exactly where he is. First aid up. He's going to be back up to 75% HP. Spec can just barely hear them on the outsides, but it's going to be quite the engagement over onto the outside of the circle where Mazexus, Pro Era, and Ogilvy all are at. Leon knocking Jagger is going to be up to Tensa and Spec now. I'm just waiting for them to come inside. Yeah, didn't know where he was behind the doorway and goes for the finish onto Sam. Just waiting to see if Leon will kind of peek on out in front of him. But Spec definitely wants to, wait a little bit. Wait for Jagger maybe to get revived down to 1 HP. Can't wait any longer. Intensa is able to get a second revive onto Jagger. Spec still needing a little bit more time. Throwing another smoke out and just avoids barely getting knocked from a grenade. Spec getting shot from the outside. It's going to be Leon. It's going to be Juicy. 3 kills found so far from this team. Actually, it's going to be only Leon downstairs as Tensa getting knocked from a grenade lobby from Drago from the sniper tower just to the side. Fortunately for them, Leon is not going to push up by himself, but Juicy giving the calls now. Hey, this is our opportunity to push on up. But Juicy actually getting knocked by Drago and Leon trying to go for the finish them. So Ghost gifted just a little bit more time as Leon and Drago are kind of focused all onto each other. Leon actually getting taken out by Spec this time around as Drago now advances into the compound with Ghost Gaming, Vayne, Ogilvy, all of them keeping all their attention onto this compound to try to take out Ghost. All right, Drago now finished out this time. Looks like Spec just barely seeing Natsuo, but just, you know, laying prone. His teammate also knocked at the exact same time, so out goes Ghost in 3rd position. Ogilvy, though, how has Drago survived for so long? And he's showing us why he has 6 kills right now, why he's been consistently one of the top fragers this entire invitational. Natsuo just downstairs. He gets the knockout. Oh my god. What if Drago could 1 versus 1 and win this game? No way. No way. He gets a knockout on 1. He's going to switch on over, but just barely missed it. He gets the 3-piece, but was not able to quite get the 4th. So it's going to be the winner chicken dinner. That was almost a throw. Almost a throw, but Drago 8 kills in a 2nd place. Huge effort from him, but Ogilvy with the chicken dinner with 9 kills. Wall Street Bets in 2nd. 3rd, Ghost Gaming, Spec with 7 kills. And then you guys can see the scores, the rest from there. But definitely a widely action. I did not get my military base circle that I really wanted. It just didn't happen today. So one of these times, one of these Orangles. Maybe the last one today will end up being it, but okay, so I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna make the room and then I'm gonna show you guys the overall scores. So BRB.
Here we go again. Trying hard, but you wanna be my friend. Ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. Here we go again. Call my bluff, I'ma be here till the end. I'm the one you ride, I'm the one you ride to. If you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna change,
Not my mic being muted. Oh my god. Not my mic being muted for like 2 minutes when I came back. Oh, oh, I do this all the time. This is like, it's actually like really hard, guys, to like do like production, to like unmute my mic, remember to mute it, and then like obviously the audio is just like kind of messed up right now, and then like seeing if the scores are done, and then also spectating in game, and still like doing all this transition, and like it's like too hard, guys. Anyway, all fun. But no, I was saying like I was just watching like the stream back at the very end, and like Spec was saying like Drago, if he didn't like drop shot maybe, but Drago said he like ran out of ammo as one gun, so who knows. Gio said, Drago, remember me, bro, when you top frag in PMPL and get 20k followers. So like what Coops did. He didn't get 20k followers though. Courtney, thank you. Yeah, sitting out in game 2 is Ghost Gaming, Nova East Smorts, Boring Protocol, and Pro Era. It was one time, I think it was like a Miramar match like 6 months ago, and I was like all dead serious, and I'm like 19 East Smorts, and like I said it totally wrong. Where can you find overall scores? I was showing the overall scores at the very beginning on stream. I'm waiting for the scores to catch up. But we haven't gotten them yet, so let me just message. So shout out to my staff too, they're like super on top of like this. Oh, never mind, just started. Yeah, we like, you don't understand, like the people behind the scenes are doing, they're doing the map stream for the players, they're doing excuse me, like screenshots of doing like doing the scores, and then they're calculating everyone's like frags. Like this is all like very manual that they're doing, and I'm just like showing it on screen. So yeah. Anyway, so match 2 is about to start. We're at 57 people in the room, so I'm going to tag the people. Just give me a second. Usually like 1 minute left before start. I'm like tagging the teams like, hey, like hurry up. Okay. Joey said Telly's on the way. Okay. Dope. Missing 1. Who else is missing 1? Syndicate. Missing 1. And then the hit list, missing 1. Okay. About to start, guys. Someone wants to get to like 64. Christy said, missing me in your heart. Okay. So, so I'm just waiting for match 1 scores to be done so I can show you guys, the scores, obviously. Just give me a second. Let's see. Okay. So we have, you guys want to see, so I have a setup to show you the overall score. I can just like read out the daily scores though. Okay, we are at 63, so still waiting on 1 more Lazarus. I think they like DC'd or something. Lazarus, missing 1. Yeah, also add, yes, am aware, LOL. Okay, so about to start once we get to 64. Okay. All right, just started. Okay, so Miramar. Okay, so now it's on my stream where it's catching up, where I'm like totally like muted my mic and everything. Anyway, so You guys want to see the scores? Let me go ahead and pull that up for you. So here are the overall scores. So first place is Ghost Gaming with 431 points and 6 chicken dinners. And second place, Night. So now that this is like the overall score, now that we are, oh my goodness, that was really loud. Holy jeepers, that was really loud. Like in my ears. Okay, so anyway, so Ghost Gaming zone first, and then fourth is so actually Wall Street Bets did jump over Nova Esports because Nova Esports didn't play that last match, and Wall Street Bets almost got the chicken, but first place with, I think it was like 10 kills, or second place with 10 kills, so still a lot of points. I think that's, what is that, like 23 points? So they're able to jump up over them. 5 chicken dinners from Wall Street Bets, and then you guys can see these are just overall right now, and you can see the rest of them. I'll just scroll down to 20th as well. But at the bottom we got B-Town, Yo, Pro Era, Dope, and Syndicate. Yeah. Okay. Game is about to start. We still have a couple more seconds. Just trying to figure out this audio, but I think there's no hope for the audio, guys. My bad. I really don't know what the fix is. We were able to fix it the last match yesterday, though, but hold on a sec. Okay, so match number 2 just starting now. We are going to be flying over Miramar from the south side of the map all the way up to Crater Field. And yesterday I think we had a La Coberia finish. I think that was kind of like a once in a blue moon finish, and actually ended up like all the way up there. I've only seen that maybe one other time that this happened. Yeah, and so they're coming down now. But I'm just gonna leave the map open a little bit so you guys can see where these teams are going. Okay, so we have the hit lists are going to be split up over the top of Power Grid. I'm wondering if we're going to see, because we saw like the last couple of times they've had a little bit of an issue with, I think, Illuminati and Yo, like the hit list being so split up that we have some other teams able to pick off individual members of their team. Okay, and we have a La Coberia finish. I was like, no way it's gonna be all the way out there, and it actually shifted all the way down. Okay, do you guys remember the one time I was like, no way it's gonna end up onto the like south, like no ways are gonna end on like this very, very far southern island, and then sure enough, like 4 circles later, it landed kind of like right where Lazarus is now. So we'll see, but this is definitely a first so far in this invitation, having such a far southwestern circle. Majority of them just kind of very kind of like central circles. So we'll see where this one ends up. All right, Salty Syndicate now having 4 players in the lobby. Ogilvy very, very split up over kind of trailer park, over kind of out the outside area. Now we have Ogilvy Vurex. M16, UMP in hand, Syndicate kind of back to their little split over here. So they have 2 different kind of splits just to the southwest of Picado, and then I've seen them with a plane path a little bit more favoring the northern side, going up to Cruz Day Valley. The Knights, So the Knights, they had kind of a tough time last game where they had kind of Illuminati on them. They had some of the other, kind of, they were just kind of picked off one by one by one. According to Coops, it was my fault that I jinxed them to dying early, but it was just Alucard left alive at the very end as a solo member trying to get into the circle. Right, passion fruit salty is gonna be in the Murado. We have team B Town. So B Town, they're the last team on our overall standing. So hopefully they can just get a little more points, have a good game this game, and potentially get a little bit higher. They only have Yo right above them. I think it's a fairly actually close in points. But we have some of these teams. I do see some teams that are a little bit more fluid with their drop spots. They'll take a look at the lobby and say, hey, this group is not in. We know that these 4 drop spots are going to be free, and then they might just kind of change their drop spots every time depending on where they know the other teams are not going to be at. 19 Esports still over in the Hacienda area. Illuminati going to San Martin. But I mean, B-Town, they're in the I don't think they could be any more center than they already are in Chumacera with this plane or with this circle. So I'm wondering if they're gonna end up getting a pretty high finish here. I mean, if all the stars align and it doesn't shift away from them too hard, they could have some a decent kind of placement in the match. All right, peaceful, just on the very, very edges. Looks like the Syndicate team is just kind of all split out over the roadside. But yeah, not a whole lot of action right now. Actually, nobody has died yet in this match. I think we started with 63. Is that correct? We started with 63. So 24K. Still in Alpoza, we have Yo and Mazexis kind of, I've never seen, even though they land in the same spot, they've never kind of engaged with each other. They're just recognizing, hey, like we know we have a neighbor over here, and kind of like an unspoken line down the city of just no one kind of crosses it, and then even if we see you kind of off in the distance, we're not gonna try to start a fight or try to strand you in the city, but they're gonna continue to run on away. We got Yo just going up north, I think looking for some vehicles that they can finally rotate further into the circle. Yeah, another thing to mention, XAT has yet to win any matches so far, and it's going on to day number 10. So after today, if they still haven't gotten any wins, it will be 0 wins in 50 matches. And I mentioned this to some of my friends on the team, and Killswitch and J7 were just like, yep, that's the goal, that's the plan. Like we're not trying to win. But yeah, XAT, I mean, good for them that they're still in the top, I think like top half of the overall standings, even without a chicken dinner. But definitely looking, they said they're saving it for PMPL. So I guess we will all see in PMPL if that in fact actually does change. The Knights rotating from Los Leones, very, very close to Team Syndicate. I heard a couple shots in the distance as we had this buggy from Alucard just kind of rendering on the side of the hill. All right, here are a couple more shots in the background now. Team Syndicate still waiting on over here. We have 19 Esports rotating in from Hacienda. Fair enough distance from Illuminati that they don't really have to worry about them at all. But it looks like Syndicate, I think they don't want to, very intelligently, they don't want to have a fight too early on in the match. But yeah, nobody has really had that many fights. I don't think a single knock has been had at all either. Salty, this is my favorite layout. This is like a sniper and then an 8-time scope. He sees Z, knocks in, and it looks like he hits the ground right in front of him. Xenex, did he just hit the ground again right in front of him? I think Salty is really hoping for the headshot knock for his next video that he's going to end up posting. But Salty, He has a little bit of hill, a little bit of cover here as they're in the churches of Chumasera, pretty close into the center of the circle, while B-Town looks like they backed up away from the city and moved up into the huge mountains just to the southwest of it. Ogilvy are winners from the previous match, doing their huge split loot just to the west and northwest of El Pozo, are finally getting their cars. Vane actually very separated from the rest of the team. I think just looking to pick up some of them, or he's just a little bit slow. But we have Iris and sorry, not Iris. We have Ogilvy, all four of them now coming up and meeting up together. I think each of the individual one were able to nicely get their own vehicles, save those, because by the end you might only end up with maybe one or maybe two, etc. So having more than that to kind of compensate for the shooting that will happen from the other teams will give them some more vehicles to use at the very end. All right, Team Passion Fruit still outside the circle, just waiting for the circle to close one more time. And we have it set. Oh man, I was really hoping for an island finish right where Lazarus was. They'd be just whooping and yelling if they did get it shifted all the way down there. But looks like this time it's gonna be Syndicate and Knights to have the exact center of the circle. B-Town maybe looking to kind of shift inward a little bit more because now they've kind of lost the center. Now Ogilvy just barely on the outside with Yo actually right on their heels. Spray, did you guys see that? I think he had like a 6 times on his M249 looking onto Ogilvy. Maybe a little too hopeful with the kind of recoil coming out from the M249. But Passion Fruit still out in the blue zone. We have B-Town finally just, I guess, just coming back. They, just trying to make up their mind exactly where they want to go, like in the city, up on the mountains, but they're coming in just a tiny itty bitty bit closer. Now sharing the city with the hit list. I want to see how Lazarus is going to get up. Looks like they all came over. 3 players up from, we finally have some action. It's going to be Ogilvy glass knocked as Verex finishes off J-Way, first blood of the match. It's gonna be J-Way dead as a 63rd player. Natsuo, Verex, and Vane though, they know where Exit is. And I was like, I really hope Exit can finally win a match, and already off to a kind of a bad start, losing one of their players. All right, Ogilvy. Looks like one of them getting shot just a tiny itty bit in the back. It's actually fairly split up. He has a nice angle on kind of kill switch over here. The only thing covering him from down below are going to be the smokes. He quickly gets the med kit up actually all the way up to 100% health. But being so split up like this, and we see Rose from Lazarus are getting just a little bit closer, potentially might be able to third party this to get just a itty bit closer. Clearly they can hear the shots in front of them, and I think that's what stopped the rotation from Lazarus. They're like, we don't want to drive right in the middle of this. Killswitch does find Verex though, both of them kind of out in the open on the sides of the hill down on the southwestern side of the circle. Looks like Exet, we have 3 of them kind of just disengaging. We have Yo actually now coming in to join the party. They didn't get an invitation. We're pretty salty about that, so they're just gonna come and crash it. But Purge down below behind Axet getting shot from up above from J7, and also shot from down below from Lazarus. So Yo definitely just biting off way more than they could chew, and starts to choke as they have 2 players now knocked, and definitely regretting kind of coming into the middle of this fight. All right, Ogilvy looking to try to find Verex. Everyone else in the circle, though, fair distance away from each other. Just kind of all the actions down on the southwestern side. Kill switch, 0 kills found from him so far. Actually, 0 kills from anyone so far on Team Exet. They come a little higher onto the hill. Lazarus, again, starting as a 3-man. Rosie? Am I pronouncing this wrong? Roses, G3, Joey, Just keeping their eyes out, trying to gather as much information as possible. The circle does shift a little, shifting up to, I mean, where the majority of them are, but B-Town are like, man, we have just been straight chilling this entire game. Haven't really moved from anywhere. Accent, kill switch, finds a kill onto, I want to say it was it Yo? But Accent finds a kill from across the entire mountainside, and 1 kill found so far for the entire team. All right, kill switch now starting to rotate. Looks like they just let kind of Lazarus and Yo to eat their dust as they're trying to put more priority on getting in the circle. Knights too. Now, this is their opportunity to get some more points as Ghost Gaming, the one team that is up above them. I believe Ghost that is above them probably around like 50 points or so, 40 points or so. They're going to be out this match. So if they are able to win this one, they're going to be able to really kind of close the gap between them and Ghost. B-Town, Grave getting knocked. Trying to see if they can keep their players all 4 up. Jayua from the Panthers finishing off Grave, putting B-Town as only a 3-man left. Knights, the fine Syndicate, they're going to be a little bit across the road though, so not really too close to have the engagement. Now we have Passion Fruit and Team Xset just upstairs as Polo goes for the flush. Knights finding another knock onto Team Syndicate. This might be the push coming out from them. Xenox from down below, using all the utilities that he has, finds another knock onto Team Syndicate, and they're going to be chasing the rest of them from upstairs. Xenox just finishing off the kills that he has right in front of him, and a grenade comes out from Team I believe that was from Syndicate. We have Aeson, Rad, and Teddy C still left alive. Another player knocked from Team Knights as they're all sending it right up close to each other in the stairwell. Now we have Xenox. He's going to be alive, but he's going to be on the outside. Teddy C knows exactly where he's at, but standing up like that, we have Coops giving him the little cover that he needed. So now Syndicate going down like dominoes. Aeson and Rad looking to keep Knights at bay, potentially for long enough that they can go for a revive. Right, has more grenades. He's not out yet. Continues to throw them onto the other side of the building where he knows that Knights is at right in front. And he just sees Coops and he knocks one. Now it's going to be the turntables onto Team Knights as Xenox, last one left alive from his team. Can the birthday boy clutch up this win onto Team Syndicate? Looks like he's going to be backing up just a little bit. But can't forget that there's an entire other team across the street from him. Looks like Xenox just gonna dip out of here. He's like, I gotta get some actual points in this match and see if I can survive for any longer. Circle hard shifting down to the southwestern side. We have Team Yo and Lazarus engaging upon each other up onto the mountain. We have the play zone actually knocking Baba, as Lazarus are pretty clumped up together onto the higher ground overlooking down onto Team Yo. I think for them though, they're saying, yeah, we don't want to fight you on the edge of the circle while we're not even in the next circle at all. So we're just going to avoid this completely. Solitude, actually, I'm liking how aggressive he's playing here. He came up by himself, coming in, trying to third party this fight that he heard was erupting between Team Axet and Passion Fruit. Now the positions have changed. Now he's playing a little bit of an Overwatch. You can't get inside because it's been blown up already. Let's get in the middle of the fight. Passion Fruit throwing a couple of smokes, recognizing a whole different team pulling up right behind them. Lazarus still a little bit further away, as now the immediate fight is going to be between Passion Fruit and Mazexes. All right, Solitude still staying just on the low side. Now we have Rage staying prone in this building as Sleep is going to be on to the second floor. Again, these teams right in the middle, there's basically nobody. The fights here are happening right in within this compound here as Mazexes is pushing up onto Passion Fruit. He goes for the quick reload. Nice little discipline right there, waiting for them to push up onto him, but he does get knocked in instead. So it's going to be only Baby Juancho on the outside in the whole other building, allowing his whole team as I think he was pushing back already, just ejected out of the fight. And yeah, it's going to be only Passion Fruit Juancho left alive. Axat looks like Polo from across the way, potentially maybe getting knocked from Lazarus. And I think they wanted to stay close enough to this fight to potentially third party. But Mazexes, no casualties at all. And they're collecting the kills one by one. All right, they hear. I think they heard the footsteps. They know vaguely where Juancho might be. I'm just going to be waiting for them to potentially push up onto them, as Godsend is going to be on the exact opposite side of the circle, getting very, very close to Dope and the hit list. All right, Dope Calu getting knocked to illusions from the Panthers. Godsend just coming up to the little water tanks on the very edges of Chumacera with the Panthers right behind him. They're just going to be blowing up this car, making sure another team can't not do it for them. Instead, we have Wall Street Bets Drago, the one that, remember, he was almost clutching the win in the last game, but still had 8 kills. Once again, he's the last player left alive from his team. I mean, he's just kind of sending it through the city and just hoping he finds somewhere to stop. Fortunately for him, there's no one too close to hear that he's going to have okay entry into this warehouse, and they're just going to be waiting for this next circle to pop one more time. Lazarus pretty spread out on the northwestern side, as Syndicate getting in their cars and crossing the street. Actually, do they know they're actually trailing right behind Xenox, who lost the rest of his team, and he's gonna be hiding. I mean, the city, there's a lot of places to hide, and hopefully he picked one that Syndicate won't look to get on into. But you can hear the cars. Syndicate just avoiding him completely and going a little bit higher of a elevation. Circle shifting up to the northern side. It's going to be Illuminati gifted this circle. They've got that side of that side of the street that they're on is a huge dip down, a huge side of the road that they can all hide behind. And it's going to be very, very hard for any sort of team to kind of come around to the side, because they're going to be completely, all in the eyesight of the entire team and everyone across the street. They're going to be all funneled together on that side. We have Passion Fruit, Juancho. I think he's not quite within the circle. He still has Mazexis on his backside, so he can't really come out of this building to get in any further. We have 19 Esports finding the Panthers. It's still within the city of Chumacera. Legal. Jayua, who killed one of the members of B-Town. Teddy C getting knocked to Illuminati. King Hua. That was a huge distance away from them. Xenox still trying to, he's down to one person, but he's definitely not out of this match yet. Still continuing to fire and trying to third party and trying to eat up as many kills as he can. That's gonna be 19 Esports, his previous team, under fire from Xenox, quickly getting into his little buggy. He's going to be sending this one. I've seen Xenox do so many times. There's a solo, nothing left to lose. Just kind of full sends on over. Comes out into the blue zone. And I mean, he has a little bit of time, fifth circle. It's debilitating, but he can still survive for just a little bit longer. 19 Esports, though, they're not going to let the Panthers get any further into the circle than they already have clawed their way in. Now we have Trey finding Jat G from the hit list, knowing that the Panthers are still down below. We have Xenox still coming up right behind, using his first aids out into the blue zone, down to his last one. I just waiting and hoping that somebody just wouldn't ever expect that he's hiding out into the blue, that he might be able to get them. I think he may have just been able to see Juicy and Acer potentially, but he's still coming on in right behind the Panthers after they actually died to 19 Esports. So nobody is looking over in his direction. He's coming over and actually got into the circle further than Juicy. How has he not seen him at all? There's smokes everywhere that we're not seeing. Xenox, he's out of first aids though. Only has a couple bandages. He's just going to be weaving in and out of the buildings, trying to get him. He finds Leon right into the back. Can he get him, though? But now he's announced his presence to everybody from 19 Esports and Acer. He's going to be DMing him, Xenox, what were you doing? And he does finish off Knights out in 10th position. Circle still closing in. Not quite yet. We still have a couple more seconds before the blue zone does envelop Iris. He knows that Lazarus is on the other side of the hillside. Xset focusing their attention onto both Lazarus and Mazexis to their left. Circle right into the middle where nobody is at all. Illuminati finally to come out of their dip and come into the center of the circle. All right. Iris looks like kill switch. Not quite able, maybe a little bit of render, something going on here, because Killswitch doesn't miss his shots. Like, what is going on here, actually, though? But I think Iris finally coming out from the side of the hill, and that's going to be a long-range defeat for Killswitch, getting 5 kills in this match alone so far. Illuminati, they've They've gotten Landland knocked. Mazexus now taking this opportunity. I think they were the ones who did knock Landland and are taking this opportunity to push up just itty bit inch closer and maybe catch Illuminati as they're, you know, focusing all their attention to get into the circle to be able to shoot them from the side or from the back and potentially take them out. But Landland is exactly where they're at. Solitude just spraying over the top of the hill. Actually, Solitude very much by himself. Maybe one teammate right behind him, give him a little bit of assistance. But Illuminati, they're looking to just, you know, hey, we're already on our way, moving out. Let us go. But Illuminati. Landland getting shot in the back. Mango coming over a little bit higher, and this is going to be key for Illuminati to prevent the Mazexus team from getting in any further. Mango just seeing 19 esports for Acer, but he was in the buggy already. He was already moving as they've already lost Leon Juicy. He needs a revive, but in the middle of the circle, we have Team Xset. I said Team Xset, this could be, you know, we have been dying. We have been waiting for Xset to maybe win a match. Finally, it's going to be Acer. It's going to be Juicy now taken out by the likes of Syndicate, the hitless Jatji, and Midnight. Not quite within the circle either. They're gonna need to come down for the mountains or wrap around all the way to the eastern side to where Syndicate is at now, taking shots onto Illuminati. Be up to them potentially if they had any more grenades left at all. Rad, he has a smoke, maybe hide the vantage point just a little bit from the hit list. Again, Xset being a very, very favorable position right in the center. And I mean, there's nobody, like they have to control the entire other half of the circle where there isn't any team at all. They can just look to gatekeep everyone from getting in. J7, he does find Solitude as J7 gets knocked himself from Mazexus. So they're going to be having a fight, huge fight in the center of the circle as Syndicate continue to come over to the side where Illuminati is looking down. So it's going to be prey on prey on prey. Illuminati looking down onto Mazexus, Syndicate looking down onto Illuminati. Who is going to be the bigger fish in the ocean and potentially win this, but it's going to be 1 versus 2 against Rad as Asan didn't give any sort of support at all to his teammate as he's kind of pushed up by himself onto Illuminati. Mazexus now finding Team Xset. I said they could potentially win this, but now they're just kind of being overwhelmed completely by the hit list and by Mazexus on the other side. It's going to be J7. Last one up from his team. The hit list in shambles over to his right, quickly trying to blow up the car to make sure the hit list can't do it for him. Circle actually shifted down onto them, but it's a grenade coming, a perfect grenade coming out from Mazexus, stealing the dreams of Team Exa. This is not going to be their chicken dinner. It's going to be ours, is what they said. The hit list, one player still needing to get revived, but it's going to be, they're going to have some time here as Mazexus is going to be focusing on making sure that Illuminati can't get on in. King Hua just barely sees the top of the backpack of Mazexus, 24k as Mango. So he kept it. Oh, that was perfect. King Hua keeping the pressure on him, making sure he can't stand up to take a shot. And the Mango, wow, he was only about, you know, halfway health, coming over and jumping up and finishing what his teammates started. Asan still over on top. He might be able to give the surprise jump scare onto Mazexus. If they peep on up, Asan is not quite within. Mazexus are going to be, I mean, the hope for Asan is Mazexus completely tunnel visioned onto Illuminati. It's basically a 2 versus 2 versus 1. It's up to the solo. The solo could turn the tides into the favor of either of these teams in the circle. As Solitude does get knocked at Kino, trying to find Mango. He's going to be rendering right on the side of the hill, but it's going to be him right just a little bit downhill, trying to take a 1 versus 2 from Illuminati. So it's going to be Illuminati still 2-man strong. Asan from Syndicate having the high upper ground, but he's going to be finding King Hua, but announcing his presence to Mango from down below. So he's got a little bit of a tree to hide behind, but it's going to be a very, very tall ask for Syndicate. Asan to maybe win this one. He gave King Hua a little bit of opportunity to get healed on up to 75% health. But Asan, he's not in the circle. He doesn't have the advantages here. King Hua, though, just barely down below as Asan trying to find where the other members of Illuminati are at. Quickly goes for the reload. Every single bullet counts at the last part of the match. All right, he doesn't want to come too far down. He may be seeing him, but Mango's going to be down below. But he's getting shot from 2 other places, strafing up at the very, very top, and does get shot from both of them. I mean, I think we all could have predicted what happened there. Just the numbers advantage for Illuminati and having the circle. So 6 kills for Illuminati and the chicken dinner. And then we have second place Syndicate with 7 kills, and third place is going to be Mazexus. I mean, Illuminati, I kind of so they landed in San Martin, and then they came just to the north side of Chumacera, and then and then what happened after that? And then they had like that downhill dip, like I said, like on the other side of the street. So they just kind of like waited for everyone else to just kind of kill each other around them. And then at the very end, it was only kind of a 2 versus 1. And I do want to show you guys they just added this with the update. We have kill switch, 5 kills, going all out, but not quite enough to get the chicken dinner. And then we have Kino, best companion, and King Hua as the finisher. So good job to all of them. I'm going to make the next room. So next room is going to be Sandhawk. So I'll be right back after I make the room. So BRB.
I get lost inside my thoughts, and when I start to think, oh, the Tahoe closest starts to end up on the brink. I tried so hard, but all these scars, they cut so deep, I bleed. I fell so fast from heaven, it's like someone clipped my wings. Now I'm falling, and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe, and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye.
Okay, not forgetting to unmute myself this time. I did make the room, so we're just waiting a couple minutes for the players to get in, and then I'll go ahead and start the Sandhawk match. So we had, by the way, guys, if you guys didn't know already, it's Xenox's birthday, so make sure you spam in chat happy birthday for Xenox. How old are you turning, Xenox? I think like 17 or 18. I don't really remember. Yeah. I'm just like watching the very, very end. Man, if Asan could have knocked Kinghua and then just completely focus on, I think it was Mango below him, then he had a chance. But definitely like coming over and like he still had 2 players knocked that were both shooting at him. It was just like GG's, man. Dang. Kino said Asan's position spoiled my plan. Oh, where he was like higher up than you guys. Yeah. Yes, sir. Salute Asan while he sprayed the floor, babe. Why, Asan? Why, babe? Choo. frame drop, says Asan. Okay, I'll be right back one more time.
Showed me how to live
All right, I'm gonna mess with the in-game properties a little bit just to see if I can fix the audio. Probably not, but I'm gonna try. You did what? Did you guys hear that? Hold on. Hold on. I still hear airplane. Hold on. Why is that not coming out? Hold on. Not sure what's happening. Does that sound better? I can't tell. I cannot tell. Anyway, Sandhawk. Okay, so Lakawi to Hating. We got our plane path for Sandhawk. China. Okay, so yesterday we had, we always see Boring Protocol and Illuminati kind of in the General Camp Alpha area. Like super, I don't know, just every single time I see them landing there, I think both of them are kind of like stubbornly like we want to be the ones that win this drop spot. And then we have Lazarus and Pro Era landing in Hating, and Lazarus started with only 3 this match. And I want to say that because I haven't seen Illuminati yet. Here we have Group D sitting out, which is Wall Street Bets, Syndicate, Godsend, and Illuminati. So in fact, it's going to be Team Boring Protocol with the entire northwestern island, or side of the island. All right, I want to see Pro Era and Team Lazarus. All right, woo! Joey getting a knock onto one of the members of Pro Era. As Joey gets knocked himself with the DBS right in the doorway. So Pro Era getting a ton of players all finished out as Roses with a DBS doing absolute work, and Sosa about to get flushed out. Now it's going to be Lolo running for the literal hills of Sandhawk and getting out of Hating. But Lazarus, they started with only 3 and they were still able to pull a fast one onto Pro Era. So GG's to Lazarus getting 3 kills right off the bat. All right, we have 19 Esports and Yo. This is another one of those hot spots on the map that we've been watching and keeping our eye on. 19 Esports lands down into the city of Bootcamp in Yo, landing right in the warehouse just to the northern side. We've seen 19 Esports pushing up and actually dying to Yo, being a little bit too aggressive, not completely in sync and ready to push up like that. We've all seen them come in and completely annihilate Yo like that happened. I want to say it was yesterday or the day before. All right, looks like Lolo was found with a Molotov from Lazarus, so that's going to be out. Lolo going to be out of the match in 15th place. We have Exa continuing to rotate on around, but yeah, pretty much the circle kind of right centered over the kind of intersection of waters of all the islands of Sandhawk. I mean, it's anybody's guess of where the circle will end up going. I think 19 Esports might be, very content to just stay in boot camp and wait to see where this next circle will shift and then make their plans and their rotations from there. All right, we have Mazex's huge split on the southeastern side. Godsend, I believe, are out this match as well, but we normally see them around the cave and kind of Camp Charlie-ish area, kind of encroaching up into the quarry area. We have the Panthers and the Hitless actually very close together. And the Hitless, they've been going the kind of splitting up all over the quarry area, kind of the northern side of it. But they're... I mean, they're not quite close enough to the Panthers to quite, have a fight. Yeah, I'm just waiting for like some team to get a little bit closer. We might be able to see a little bit of action. I mean, it was a nice little, appetizer from Lazarus and Pro Era at the beginning, but definitely waiting for the rest of these teams to get a little bit closer. Ogilvy, another team that lands kind of on the opposite side of the water from boot camp along all these little split compounds on the northwestern. Directions are hard, guys. Northwestern Island, sharing it with Boring Protocol, Lazarus, and I want to say there's one more team. Actually, it's just only three all the way up there. And what I like that exit does is they kind of land, like the spot that they landed is they have like a two land in kind of this general, what do you call this, like city along the water, and they have two more landing a little bit more inland. So where they see the first circle determines where they end up going. Having a circle like this, they want to control these bridges and these rotations coming from any of the islands having the three intersections, and wherever the circle does shift, they'll have the kind of first entry onto that island. Ogilvy, though, keeping a very, very close eye onto Xat. Ghost, if the circle was ever more slightly to the north or northeast, we'd see 19 Esports taking up their spot along this this hill or this mountain where Ghost is actually at. Though, Purge getting knocked and flushed out by Acer, that might kind of put a little bit more pressure on them to actually HH24 knocking Spray. So this might put, once they get the flush onto Spray, if they're able to do it, that might kind of put open the floodgates for 19 Esports or Ghost to kind of third party onto. I mean, they're just kind of surrounding, right? This is where you have two Apex Predators, like I don't know, like a lion and like a cheetah just kind of swarming around this one prey, and they're looking for the weaknesses in the prey, which is going to be to finally go for the kill and finish them all out. All right, Ghosts, HH24 coming ever so closer together. This is going to be the first game for HH24 today, as we had Jagger sub in the first one. HH24 continuing to throw the utilities, the grenades over into the direction of but unable to get a secondary knock. This gave Ghost Beowulf the opportunity to come in a little bit closer, as Knight's now on the back wall finding Juicy. I mean, that was such a far away distance knock. They're probably not going to be pushing up on this. They're probably definitely not going to be able to go for the flush as well. All right, Spray able to get revived. Level 1 vest about to fall off, but he's keeping his eyes onto Ghosts that he knows are just a little bit higher on the mountain than him. All right, B-Town still on the very far southern side of the island. Passion fruit coming in from the General Cow area. But yeah, everyone, I mean, if I was 19 Esports, I would, be able to clearly identify. There's a lot of teams around me. Obviously, Ghost and Yo to my north, Knights down to my south. Probably may not have the information that the hit list is right here too. But wherever the circle shift, 19 Esports, I think, that's kind of the disadvantage of boot camp, right? It's just so open, the open rows all the way around it. How are they going to get out of boot camp if the circle shifts completely away with all these teams surrounding them? Goes still up onto the hills. No kills found, as Spray was able to get revived. Ogilvy still watching onto Xset. It's Glaz, Natsuo, Virex, and Vayne. I'm still really, really hoping that Axet can do something with this match. I mean, they've been historically very strong on Sandhawk just because of this drop spot, this kind of control that they have on, the corners of every single island. And I'm still okay. Now they definitely have the information. They know where the hit list is, just the southeastern side. And somehow Illusions was able to steal the kill onto Jat G that 19 Esports was able to get, as the Panthers also have a casualty one going down onto his knees, as Jaguar, Mosul, and Legal are going to be pushing up just a itty bit closer. Illusions still knocked and still needing to get revived. All right, the hit list We have Midnight into left up. Midnight's gonna throw, I think that was a flash grenade. No utilities left at all. He's got the suppressed vector 3 times on it. I mean, it's quiet, so they, like not giving out too much information, but it's loud enough that they know exactly, what direction he's at. We've got the pan. Can we finally have it? Pan versus grenade just over the top of the mountain. It was just a little bit too far. The angle just was not in his favor. Moso was going to back up just a little bit to get the revive, the pat on the back. 2 illusions. The Panthers really in a dire position here because it's going to be only Midnight against the world. 19 Esports 2 is back. He can't venture out too far at all. And the Panthers, once they get the revive on the illusions, it's going to be a full force team right in front of him. All right, Painkiller. As the Panthers are now 4-man strong. Circle actually shifting a little bit further north. So really good for Yo, really good for Ghost. Who it's not good for is the Panthers Midnight. I mean, they're within the circle, but it's going to be, the hit list. Really not good for him because for the Panthers now, it's going to be the pressure to get even further north, exactly where the hit list Midnight is. 19 Esports still kind of stuck within boot camp, nowhere to go. Mazexis coming in from the they're the team that's kind of rotated the furthest in this match so far, coming from the very far southeastern corner of the circle. It's still, he's got the vector. He's waiting for, the Panthers, they have to know it's one player. I don't know what it's taking so long to push up onto Midnight. Guys, I really don't know. It's one player left, and they're taking their dear sweet time. And we saw this kind of unaggression before in a Ringo match a couple days ago. They had a compound. They were sharing it with Yo, if you guys remember, and they instead of they were in the circle, instead of fighting against Yo, they waited until the blue zone was finally after the circle finally shifted away from them, and they finally had 0 time left at all to finally start the fight. I think that's this passiveness from the Panthers that could bite them later on. The Panthers still staying up on the hill, not going for this solo player. Mazexis coming in from the outskirts, finally within the circle. Everybody, though, is going to be just kind of right along that waterway. And it's going to be coming increasingly harder for them because right within the rocks there, sometimes there's angles there that you wouldn't even be aware of from across the waterway that you have a ton of enemies being able to spot you out. 19 Esports still 4-man strong, 2 kills found so far. I think that was on, was it on the hit list was one player, and Yo, it was another player that they were able to find. Ogilvy, this team, they were in PMCO last split, not quite making it to PMPL, but they've made it this time around. What it shows to be able to go back, stay as a team, improve yourselves, and come back even stronger. So Natsuo, Vane, all of them, they're still going to be on the other island to the northwest. Everyone's still just kind of waiting this circle. There's actually a pretty, what was the quite juxtaposition of the Sandhawk match from yesterday, where it was just fight after fight after fight, and it was just nonstop action. This one has been very, very just quiet so far is the word, and that might be jinxing it because now we have Dope very close to Passion Fruit just coming in from Cow, and once again we have the circle about to close again. And right now, the only thing I can really point out here is that we have a crate drop right in the laps for Yo. Christmas came just a little bit early for them. Circle is about to shift once again. Where is it gonna go? And it actually goes as far up north. Ghost right in the center. Dope having that huge compound. Dope hasn't gone anywhere. This is exactly where they land and loot. And now everyone on the southern side, especially Mazexis, you're gonna see Mazexis and B-Town probably just really rotate far counterclockwise around the circle to try to come in probably around the Paradise Resort side, or even all the way up further by Tap Mock and Mazexis. They have the vehicles to do it. I think 19 Esports, the pressure This is now on them, and they're itching to get out of boot camp. They've kind of stayed stalemate within. They know that Yo, just to the north of them, that they've been able to see them, have stayed here the whole time. That's only 3 players left alive from the kill feed. AC's got a grenade, throwing it just in the wrong corner of the building. Ogilvy from across the waterway, and like I said, Yo, they have to be so careful because that waterway, it's completely open. You have vantage points from every single team down the water that can be able to see you. Now Acer, 19 Esports, they're going to be pushing as one because they know that it's going to be only 2 players left alive, as Axet also crashing up right on the other side of the wall. They see Pole, they see J7J just outside of both of them throwing all the grenades back and forth from each other, but it's going to be only Leon left alive, quickly inching to the other side. So where they were putting the aggression onto Team Yo, it was Axel with the perfect timing to also try to finish them off. HHG4 may be completely unaware that he has a member of Team Yo right behind him as he's coming in for a third party onto Iris. Hopefully for him, he can have a teammate if this member of Yo does pop on up. That's going to be Sprays getting really, really close to him. The Sprays does come out from him, but HHG4 is going to be waiting here. He does get knocked coming onto the other side of the hill, but he still gets flushed out anyway. It's going to be up to Tensa and Spec to finish this one for their fallen teammate. Tensa tossing a nade up. Spray literally just so low in health as Tensa has the UMP. HHG4 giving the calls back to him. Yeah, he's got him low. And he's going to be really easy to kill, but Tensa also gets knocked too, just giving the 2-piece over to him as one of the players from another team, Ogilvy, is going to be able to finish off Spray, but Tensa is going to bleed out. So Tensa and HH24 going out to 1 player hiding behind a rock. All right, now it's going to be the Knights pushing up onto Axet after 19 Esports were taken out. So Axet, and you quickly get the revive onto Polo, get the first aid up onto him. But yeah, the Knights are coming in knocking, and they're not going to wait for you to slowly open the door. Now if kills with the DBS, I said it, kill switch, now losing out to Knights. Knights just came in. They did the exact same thing that 19 Esports. So 19 Esports crashed up onto Yo. 19, and then we had Axet crash up onto 19 Esports and take out 19 Esports. Now Knights crashed up onto Axet on the back of them and took out Axet. So it's going to be Knights collecting up 4 kills, no casualties once they get the revive up. But it was just the warehouses were the center of attention in this circle. It's just back on down to boot camp. Ghost, Spec, and Bale, if they have the huge vantage point here, but it's going to be very hard to hold this hill as only a 2-man left. Dope, Kalu knocked from Passion Fruit. Ogilvy, looks like Natsuo swam across to the solo island in the middle of the water while the rest of them are going to be swimming across towards boot camp. Knights is going to be backing up into the main boot camp area now, taking the second helping lootings from, all the teams in front of them had killed in the warehouses, and whatever is left over that 19 Esports did not pick out of boot camp. Starlight, it looks like they were starting to pivot all the way around, but are coming on back as it shifted down the southern side. B-Town made a beeline for the center of the circle, and they're going to be in some compounds right in the center. Good for them. It's if the circle stays on there, it's pretty much like a winning compound right in the middle. But we have Passion Fruit. They're also going to be full sending it on in just down the hill from Team Ghost, but Sleepless, he gets knocked to grave. Legal now getting whipped on from Hardman, but Sleepless, Passion Fruit, I think that was maybe a little bit too aggressive for them, sending it into the middle and not having the information of where all these teams are, and Beowulf is going to get the last kill onto them. Lazarus, 2-man strong, losing G3. I think it was a fight between them and Team Boring Protocol. Now we have them coming in just a little bit more. All right, so Lazarus, maybe just right on the edge is Dope, actually joining 1 member of Ogilvy right onto the island. And Midnight finally found out, but it's not by the Panthers this time. It's by Mazexis. We have Dope, Nesquick, and Flawless on the island together with Natsuo, Team Boring Protocol out into the water. But Knights, they're all set up in boot camp, and the circle comes back to them again. They're going to be farming all the kills of everybody around them. And it's going to be Russell to find Flawless Dope in the back. All right, he finds Russell, though, in the water, and that's perfect timing to be able to stand right up. And, I mean, Flawless, he's going to be lost, but they're going to be able to gain a kill as a little consolation prize in return. Now, Ghost Gaming has the members of Lazarus right behind them as Beowulf does find a Joey. Now it's going to be only Rose left alive on his belly. Hoping and praying he can get a revive onto Lazarus and hope that Ghost does not push up too quickly, but he has to quickly come on behind, but gets third party from the side from Dope. All right, circle shifting off of boot camp. So nice. I mean, B-Town, it was gifted to them. They went to Sami. Do they even have a kill? They have 1 kill so far, but they haven't really seen any of the teams in this lobby. The Panthers also having an equally great compound. Ghost can just come down just a little bit. Ogilvy, 3 players up from their team. Verex finding is that one of the players of, I was gonna say the last one, but if you get knocked in the water, you're just dead and you're just out. So it'll look like it, but Dope still has 2 players maybe staying down into the water. But I mean, I don't think this is the right way to go, because the only way for them to get up is back online on the other side. And there's just, I don't know why Dope came all the way down here. It'd be, advantageous to go up on land and come up behind Ghost Gaming. But Ogilvy can be collecting the crates that are littering the side of the island. And going to be trying to find their way in. But Knights are going to have to vacate from boot camp. I mean, they have a little bit of the fence, I guess, that they can hide a little bit behind. But, full setting all the way into boot camp and now getting trapped within the city. Mazexis, they had 2. They're also looking very, very good here. 2 of them sending a little bit further into the Black Hole, as Imperium called it, the little swampy area, and the other 2 staying on the outskirts. Ghost is now time to get on a little bit, but they have the top of the hill and they can look down, especially onto Knights as Chico in the open. Ghost is popping just a couple of solo shots onto Chico and finish off Knights. Coops, he saw him hiding in the smoke, so he can't see him at all, but he's hoping that he get one more hit marker, one more shot. He's going to be able to get the knock onto Coops, but Coops gets knocked instead to Spec. All of Knights kind of cornered behind the exact same little bit of cover. Goes Beowulf with 5 kills this time and taking out Knights in one fell swoop from the likes between Beowulf and Spec. I think it come down just a little bit more. Mazexis, 2 of them still not within and need to cross across the swamp to get further into this circle. Grave just barely seeing 24K on his belly, just above the hill, but a little bit of a render. They're going to be not getting any of those shots onto Mazexis a little bit higher up, using this, opportunity to get just a little bit further down. But Ghost does have a really, really good angle on here, 24K. But fortunately for them, Ghost kind of full sent it down into the right by the road, actually, where Passion Fruit crashed on before. The Panthers now kind of in their little compound, giving a lot of time here, might be able to find some of the members of Ghost, maybe able to lob a grenade all the way over there to maybe find the way behind the boulder to find the last 2 members of Ghost. All right, Beowulf just waiting for Jayua to make the mistake of peeping out into the open. Mazexis, we have Solitude still out in the blue, out of first aid, needs to run on, and he sees a member of B-Town going for a knock and trying to give his teammate as much opportunity as possible, because Solitude, he's lost at this point. There's no way he's making it into the blue zone without getting knocked, but he's going to actually, that kill was gifted over onto, was that B-Town or Ghost? That was going to be Grave to finish it off and still give the kill over to B-Town. So that Starlight, he's going to be knocked right in the middle of the water. Kino finding the Panthers, and they're making a mad dash out into the open, out to the Panthers just falling like dominoes. Is a really lost opportunity for them as Ghost Gaming. They didn't move. They're the patient team here. They're just waiting for everyone else to get a little bit closer. Beowulf, though, is spotted out by Jayus as Spec kind of running across the open road, but Spec, he really doesn't lose those as he crouches, is able to hold on down, able to make his way across and try to go for a quick revive onto Beowulf. I think they need to creep on just a little bit closer, and if any grenades are left, tossing it behind the boulder where B-Town is would be very advantageous for them. There's still one more player to his left. Spec, I think, hearing the shots, immediately laying prone, dropped his backpack already. It's gonna be B-Town now, trying to go for a revive onto Grave. Everybody, though, there's no hard cover, just a little bit of elevation in the land. Kino on his belly. We have the UMP in hand, so it's a 1 versus 2 versus 3 as everybody's dropping their backpacks, being as flush to the ground as possible, evolving into the snakes that I know that they can be. Quickly, Beowulf, the smokes that are so hard to find on Skyhawk, and he's able to, save into the very, very end. Spec finding a knock onto one player of B-Town and going for the flush. Now he's turning the tides even against B-Town. 2 versus 1. As Spec has a grenade. B-Town, I think Grave is going to be out of first aids. The grenade just shy of getting a knock onto B-Town. Once again, making it to the very, very end here into a second top 3 finish. We have Kino just waiting here as Bayo just barely peeps out and sees Kino. He's calling out that this player is pushing. Ghost Gaming is now wanting to put all their attention onto this player as Beowulf does get a knock as Spec knocks one player of Beast. Now it's a 1 versus 1 all the way around the circle. We have Grave just on the very, very edge as Kino is starting to get up on his feet, starting to aggress here. Spec barely hanging on there as Grave's gonna be hard scoping onto him. Spec barely able to make it to the boulder though. Is able to finish off the last player of B-Town. Spec out in the open though. But Kino, he just had the health advantage and able to finish off Spec. So Kino, what he wasn't able to do in the last one, he was finally able to execute this one and able to get the winner chicken dinner in Sandhawk. Homizexus with 5 kills. Ghost in second place with 5 kills from Beowulf, 6 kills from Spec, and 1 kill from HHG4. So 12 kills in total. In third place, B-Town with 4 kills. GG's. Can you guys tell I'm like losing my voice from solo casting? But yeah, that was Sandhawk. So I am going to go ahead and make the 4th match. This is going to be Miramar again. And this one, so just give me a sec to make the room. But Miramar, we're going to have Group E sitting out, which is Xset, the Panthers, the Hit List, and Yo. So I will be right back after I make the room. Okay. Something about like kill switch meowing. What's going on? Oh my god. No, I like legit have not like heard him meowing on stream. I'll have to listen to him now. Now when he's playing like late night screams, hearing some meows for comms. Yeah. All right, so this is match number 4. I'm losing my voice, so stick with me. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Hope you guys are enjoying watching the players. Yeah, no, we used to do like I used to do when I would like host and stuff. After every match, I would have the winning team. I would have like one representative, or sometimes they have like more representatives, like their players like come into like VC in the server, and we just like chat like for like, well, congrats on winning, like tell me about the game. And then they would say like, oh, like, and like Kino would be like, yeah, like yo, Spec helped me like kill some of B-Town, but it was like, you know, come blah blah blah, and they just like tell me like what was going through their head, or like I was like, what were the comms like, and they'd like tell me, and it was just like chat with the players or whatever, and like it was fun. You should do that. Or any OGs remember where we used to do where every team had to be in Discord VC for comms, and then the caster would like join the VC like sporadically like through the stream. Like so it'd be like, oh, here's a fight between like Knights and like Lazarus. Let's listen in on the comms. And he would like sit into the VC with like Knights and like listen as they were like fighting. It's fun. I think it'd be hard to censor that, but it was fun. I remember those days. Kill braked for you yesterday, Afro. Barked for you. He has the clip. Afro, send me that clip. I want to see it. All right, we are getting into match number 4 into Miramar. So Impala up to like, okay, so the last game went from, where did the last game was like very sort of similar to this, was it not? Because I remember it ended up by like La Coperia, or by Crater Field. It went from like South Island up to like Crater Field, I think. So this is like, it's like very, so I think it's like parallel, but like shifted up to the northeast just a tiny itty bit. All right, so we're gonna have Knights going over. You think they're going to go Los Leones? You think they're going to go? I mean, yeah, Los Leones is definitely close enough. They're probably going to go to their like regular drop, which is Los Leones, and they're already out of the map, or out of the plane. And Miramar, I'm trying to think where we might have some teams having some problem. That's going to probably be Yo and Mazexis, both landing into Miramar. But this game around, we have Group E sitting out, which is Except, the Panthers, the Hitlist, and Yo. So Mazexis, if they choose to go all the way over there, grab a car, drive all the way to El Pozo, they're going to be having the entire city for themselves, which is way more loot than one team actually needs. All right, Lazarus to El Azahar. Passion Fruit going up to the Cruz de Valle area. And we have, so we have a pretty eastern circle this time. And I think we had a circle earlier this week. They ended up going over to like right around the hills of El Azahar, somewhere up in that direction. But I'm gonna kind of foresee like some of these teams that may have, like, say Mazexis was dropping for some vehicles to drive all the way to El Azahar. I would expect them to Coops getting the drive-by, running one over, but yeah, I was saying, I would expect some teams that may be driving really far outside of the circle to try to go for like a further drop stop, might just turn around and like just aim for something more in the center instead of driving all the way out there. But 19 Esports pretty spread out over Hacienda area, Ogilvy over the water treatment area. But yeah, all these teams, pretty decent amount of space between them. Lazarus choosing to go to their, I would say, more primary drop of El Azahar instead of down onto the island of like Minas de Sur and Los Higos. God sent in Impala. I think have I ever seen this team go anywhere else besides Impala? I'm trying to remember if they can, and Courtney can correct me if I'm wrong, but all of them spread out over the Impala area. Jag is a little bit closer to the Los Leones side, and we've seen a little bit where we've seen the Knights, they kind of land very north Georgia Pole, and then Dope kind of right in the middle, and then Wall Street bets a little bit onto the further like southeastern side. And for the most part, they kind of stay away from each other, but we have seen them kind of cross the unspoken invisible line, and they've gotten a little bit too close. And then we see a couple of kills here and there, and just kind of warning them, hey, next time, stay on your side, stay in your lane and don't come too close to me. All right, Coops on the rooftops, just looting around. I'm gonna just try to see where these players are at. B-Town losing Isajat at the beginning, and B-Town, I mean, they are, I think I may have forgotten to show the scores, but B-Town was at the very, very bottom of the overall leaderboards, and they still are there at 187 points. So 7 points behind Pro Era, that's right above them, in 19th place. And actually, Yo also tied with Pro Air with 194 points, but just one additional kill at 84 kills, so they're able to place just a little bit higher above them. I do have, if you guys want to see just real quick while they're all looting, the overall scores at the very beginning. So we have Ghost in first place with 455, Knights in second with 403, and then third place is 19 Esports with 344. All right, Pro Era in Minas Generales. They are, they haven't really moved at all. And we see in the miniature map that we see B-Town kind of rotating right on past them. Ghost Gaming still hasn't really moved out of Picado yet, which is definite churn in pace from the from yesterday's games in Miramar, where they were a little bit more proactive on rotating early out of the city. 19 Esports, they are, they're choosing to not stay in the Hacienda area, I think a little bit too far out of the center of the circle than they usually like to be at. And Godsent, they're going to be driving very, very close to B-Town, finding a compound for their own and parking their cars very carefully right in between the buildings, trying to vehicle management, make sure another team doesn't see them and isn't going to be a pesky little B word and try to shoot out the tires and do some damage to the cars. All right, Syndicate, very spread out over the northeastern side. Looks like Rad. Most of them are all together. We have Ace kind of all by himself over in the Torre Ahumada area, just looting. Looting, just not really, not really too worried about the pace of the circle, them landing on such a far extremity of the map. They're already kind of putting themselves in a position to go on a more edge spot. Once they start, meeting up and rotating all together. Team Boring Protocol and La Corberia still needing to come in. They sent Fate up ahead, just kind of scout out a good compound for the rest of them to meet up at. All right, Spec, Ghost coming out of Picado. I think Spec has one. That's going to be Lolo from Pro Era right in front of them. Looks like the M16 not able to land the shots onto him, but the rest of Ghost Gaming, they're going to be coming up onto the little compound on the side of the crater of La Benita. Coops ahead of his team finding a compound too as well. Not really that many casualties. I think we saw like one from Isajat from Knights, but everyone else, they're just still rotating, finding their spots within the circle, looking to hunker down, looking to just kind of squat until the circle does force them to move on away. Pro Air, I think they're moving up. Yeah, they're moving up onto the kind of red mountains just to the north of the Minas Generales kind of graveyard area that they end up looting. Ogilvy, they're going to be very close to 19 Esports, just to the right side by Hacienda. I think our most kind of promising point of action here is going to be Syndicate Teddy C, I think pushing up. Okay, so remember we had Asan a little bit further back from his team. Now Verratti is going to be okay, so why are there so many members of Syndicate? I don't think this is, you know, purposeful. This isn't on purpose by them, but they're just finding themselves very separated and kind of forcing them to be very close to other members. I think Verratti, I mean, if he moved any close, is he even aware that there's a whole different team? There's a whole different, team just right on the edge over this hill. Maybe he's not even aware of this, but he's a top shy, getting back in the car. He's in FPP. He's going to be driving, hopefully, to meet up with the rest of his team. But the noises from the vehicle definitely giving away the information to Sleepless, and the rest of Passion Fruit might have the eyesights onto him. They're going to continue to rotate away. Teddy C had Lazarus just below him. I think Teddy C, he recognized that there was a team below him, and I'm just going to stop moving and wait for the rest of my team to give me a little bit of assistance here. All right, circle about to close one more time. Actually, the first time, and it just kind of centers up once again. We got Era right in the middle, being on top of those red mountains, giving them a lot of advantage, being able to see kind of everyone rotating on past them. And as the Knights are coming in just a little bit closer, and we've seen this kind of set up from both teams already. I think there was one game where Pro Era was up on top. We had another team that kind of crashed up onto them. I want to say it was Godsent, and then Knights was just to the side, about where they are now, third partying and trying to fish them. And yeah, like I just said, Godsent in the distance as a menace, just getting, I think, one tag onto Jag. As, ooh, he definitely heard that new he definitely heard that new headshot sound from up on the northern side. We have Syndicate, I think, finally losing one player to, I mean, just coming a little bit too close to the other team surrounding them. Verratti is going to be in the smoking car, trying to get away and trying to get a little bit closer to the rest of his team. As Passion Fruit are going to be saying thank you very much for the one kill, and then continue to rotate on into the circle. All right, the Knights, one kill, just still by the junkyard area. I'm trying to see where, I mean, everyone's kind of fair distance away from each other, and we haven't seen any kind of major fights break out yet. All of them just still, I mean, still just staying on, kind of like staying in their lane, staying on their side of the circle. Yeah, another Phil pointing out that, oh my God, XSET still hasn't won a match. In due time, my friend. I think XSET is the type of team to be like, hey, you know, we didn't get any kills all day or all league, and then finally in like the last day they're gonna end up winning like all 5 matches. You just watch it. XSET is definitely the type of team to pull a stunt like that. Boeing Protocol finally coming in from La Cobreria area. We have Mr. Russell. Russell 8 times on his M24. You love to see it. I'm waiting for some Omega snipes from Russell, hopefully in the match, but they've come just on the edge of San Martin, just kind of very close to where 19 Esports had started in the game. Illuminati is going to be not too far away from them either. And we know about this little rivalry going on between Illuminati and Boring Protocol, stemming from the drop spot in Sandhawk by Camp Alpha. So I think both of these teams here, especially Boring Protocol, if they get a knock on Illuminati, they're gonna just, you know, they get the thirst and they're able to get that information of which team it is. They're gonna send that, and they want to just bully Illuminati and all the other maps to try to make them pay for what they deem is them landing on their spot in Sandhawk. Okay, we got a couple more seconds for the circle. Once again, Team Passion Fruit actually moving away from Team Syndicate and are going to be a little bit closer to 19 Esports, just a little bit on the northern side of them. Lazarus actually doing the rotate of the Sentry. I'm just kidding. From Al-Zahar just to the outskirts, haven't really moved to anywhere at all. Just a couple more seconds. Everyone, you know, you can see them starting getting into their cars. The circle actually shifting right into the graveyard area where Team Ghost Gaming is at, taking the kind of 4 corners of that little compound. What would you call it? Kind of by the warehouses. on the other side of Minas Generalis, but you can see all these teams, they're already in the cars. They're all ready to rotate and ready to find a better spot within the circle. Pro Era, I'm loving them moving a little bit closer in. Lucy actually getting really close to Ghost Gaming, scouting out for the rest of his team. But Era, I think they recognize that more teams are going to come in from the outskirts, kind of surrounding them, so they want to give a little bit more room. Lucy, I think, gave the call out to his teammates that, hey, this place is okay. You know, it's A-okay. We might be able to kind of loot on up here, but I think he's just going to be backing up a little bit here as Lolo pulls up onto the other side. So maybe he's saying, like, okay, maybe it's not free. Like, we need to not take this spot at all. Godsent doing a drive-by onto Wall Street Bats. Slowly waiting for the move in. Nemesis, we got Fishy who crashed out. We have Bob getting in the car, and that's why you have to be so careful of getting into those cars without smoking out the driver, so you don't know who's going to be waiting on the other side and just kind of waiting for you to get in the driver's seat, being absolutely immobile and being such an easy target for another player. Godsent now collecting up 2 kills. We have Dope finding the other member of Wall Street Bets. So it's going to be Wall Street Bets out of the lobby already. Now as we have the Knights taking a fight against, I want to say that is Passion Fruit and B-Town on their side of the circle. They're going to be pushing up now. We have B-Town. I think they just weren't ready for it. Her quickly going for the flush. It's going to be only Grave left alive from his team as he quickly runs on back, finds a little divot, and he's going to be, I mean, he might, oh, this might not be a great spot for him because Lazarus is going to be in the background. We hear the footsteps coming up from the Knights as he stands up and he's able to find one from Alucard, but it's going to be Chico strafing his shots, but also getting shot in the distance from Lazarus with the third party as Knights helped him take out the last remaining member of B-Town. All right, guys, we are down to it's a couple more. We have 13 teams left. 14 minutes have elapsed. Ghost, HHG4 get knocked from Mazexis on the edge, but they're so far apart that he's going to have the opportunity to get revived from his teammates. Dope as well. 2 kills found for them. Not too active of a game so far. Nemesis, but they're about to change that immediately. Nemesis, he gets knocked Trey behind the car and it gets blown up. He's down to about a fourth of the way HP as he hears trying to go for the flushes on them, not giving that Godsent any more opportunity. But Jag, he's in a car that's about to blow on up. Pro Era has now also found 19 esports. As he hears, going to be chasing Jag around the boat. He's going to be holding the grenade, counting down the seconds. And, oh, actually, what the? It's actually tossed it a little bit in the wrong direction and does a little bit of damage to himself, tossing a nade right in return onto Trey. And he does find it. Actually, it's going to be Nesquik's grenade to find the knock onto Dope. Onto Godsent, actually. So, Jag and Salt. They know they have the Dope just right above him as Yahir's going to be running out a little bit in the open. Jag just not coming out just quite enough, not wanting to give a free target to a Yahir. Coming back, going for the reload, trying to find Yahir right out in the open, but it's going to be him versus Kalu as Jag is the last one up from his team. Quickly jumping at the very end, throwing the grenade to get a little bit more distance on it, and he does a little bit more damage to a knocked player, flushing him out. Getting a knock onto Yahir and also finishing that one. All right, it's a 1 versus 1 on the hillside. Both these two teams suffering heavy damage as you heard Jag switching to a red dot, I believe, onto a Scar L. Coming a little bit further into the circle, having a different angle onto Kalu. He has a little bit of advantage here, being a little bit higher up. Passion looks like taking out Ogilvy in the distance. We hear the shots all the way out there. I think Jag and Kalu, though, it's just going to be a 1 versus 1. The circle shifting back onto the Minas Generalis area. 19 esports right dab center in the middle. Kalu finally moving a little bit around to find Jag if he can. But Ogilvy, they're going to be pushing right up onto Passion Fruit. All right, Ogilvy, play zone, finding Lazarus. Now Verix. Where's this last player of Passion Fruit looks like just right on the edges as Pro Era is going to be pushing up onto the Knights. Remember, they have that huge upper ground overlooking onto the where the Knights were. Menace, he's going to be knocked, and it's going to be Coops right down below him, hugging the cliffside, making sure the player right on top of him has no angle whatsoever. He's going to have the grenade, holding it a couple more seconds. Alucard just up in the top. Looks like Alucard actually does finish out Fishy as Coops knocks his own teammate Alucard. And Coops, he just really, I mean, there was no chance he was going to miss those, and finishes off Lolo with the headshot. Alucard getting knocked. So Coops wasn't satisfied with killing Pro Era. He also wanted to, you know, do a little bit of damage to his own teammates. All right, everyone else. Ogilvy, they're going to be making their way in just a tiny bit more after losing Glaz. Now we have Illuminati. They still have 4 players all up, but they only have 2 kills so far. So I mean, Illuminati, they won the other Miramar. So the Miramar is definitely where they excel, just playing the kind of the edge, playing out, just, you know, just being out of the way and saving their 4 members for the very, very end. Ghost, they still have all 4 players up, 1 kill found so far. Jagger very, very close to getting knocked from across the way from Ogilvy as we have the next circle, and it shifts right onto Ogilvy this time around 19 Esports. Very delighted with that one coming in just a little bit more, but they have a very nice spot, able to gatekeep everyone else around. Ghost needing to come in just a little bit, maybe taking some time to prevent Boring Protocol from coming in any further. Russell, he still has that 8 times M24. This would be the opportunity for them to try to get an opening to get in a little bit further. HH24 did get knocked by Ogilvy from across in the center, so Boring Protocol maybe recognizing this, taking this opportunity to push on up. Fate just right above Jagger, going for the revive on the HH24, but the grenade coming out, finishing him off. Now they have the information and know it's going to be HH24 right in front of them. All right, Jagger going to be backing up, using this time not to, you know, try to take a fight against a full team of Boring Protocol, and getting a little bit closer to his teammates. Jagger, he gets a knock onto Russell. The rest of them are going to be pushing on up. There's another player knocked from Boring Protocol as Jagger through the window waves, 1 HP, putting himself in the window to be completely taken advantage of from Boring Protocol, as Beowulf coming in to finish the job, finishing it all out, and it's going to be Fate, the last one left alive, and gets taken out by Spec. So Boring Protocol, it's going to be no casualties from Ghost except onto HH24. Mazexis coming in from El Pozo onto the southern side of Minas Generales. I don't know how they're going to get in here, but looks like 2 of them are going to be crashing up in the compound where 1 solo player of Dope might potentially be. Also Syndicate, so there's a lot of solos hiding into the corners here. Mazexis need to be very hyper aware and checking all their corners and make sure they, you know, they aren't jumped on by a single solo, maybe getting a knock and then going for an immediate flush. But Asan actually grenading himself, didn't want the heat that Mazexis was bringing, and took himself out of the match. All right. Kalu, he's up on top, blowing up the car that Starlight used to get into the city. Now we wait as Mazexis, all 4 members still up, very spread out here. Jag, another solo on the opposite side of Mazexis, looking for a way to get in. He hears the cars revving. He sees Kino right in front of him. That could be a good opportunity, but I think Jag, yeah, he wants to not tell everyone in the circle where he is, being very quiet and able to just barely slip into the circle. Knights having a lot of control up on the high ground of Minas Generales. 7 kills so far between Coops, Chico, Alucard, and Menace. Yeah, Alucard, I think he just spotted out Kalu, seeing if he can get him. Chico finds Kino from Mazexis. So, I mean, the circle closes in one more time. Ogilvy, the Knights, are going to give no breathing room whatsoever for any of these teams outside the circle to slip in at all. Mazexis, Starlight, and Solitude, last 2 left alive from the team Illuminati. He actually crashed up right onto Ogilvy, but Virix getting shot in the back, and actually it's going to be Ogilvy the one's taken out between the likes of Illuminati and Knights helping them. So Illuminati, perfect crash for them, able to identify where Ogilvy was. Unfortunately, Knights was there to help them out, but Ghost is going to be rotating on up as AZ Illuminati were getting a little bit shot in the back from 19 Esports, giving Ghost the opportunity to get a little bit further within the circle. Have to be careful of the Knights though, with the huge higher elevation, especially how did Coops get all the way up? Coops all the way up there. Actually, I know how you get up there, but Coops all the way up there, able to see everybody within the circle. The eagle eye in the sky. Mango now getting knocked to Ghost a little bit closer as Ghost is now pushing, and they're going to be aggressing on this fight, having the numbers advantage. AZ and all of them just waiting on inside. Coops knocking one member, and it's going to be another member from Illuminati knocked. Now it's going to be Lan. Last player on the outside. He's hoping the smokes will last for a little bit longer, because if they dissipate, it's going to be Coops to be third partying this fight. And Lan, the smokes didn't really do anything anyway, because Beowulf do find him and take him out. 19 Esports losing Acer. Leon, Sam, and Juicy trying to find their way in. They may barely just see Ghost Gaming as Chico with a grenade finds Beowulf, and Juicy with the mini telling his team, hey, this is where we need to go now, and starting to aggress a little bit closer, but they do end up taking out Kalu from Dope. So 4 teams left alive. Beowulf, Ghost licking their wounds as Knights with the high elevation and now need to defend from Mazexis actually right below them. They can hear all the footsteps, but they can't see them at all. Alucard actually, you got Kino weaving in just even closer to him. He sees the Molotov coming out. He's going to just inch onto the other way. Misses the first save. That was a fatal error. Starlight up on top with the new gun. Chico now getting taken out, trying to go for the flush, taking out Chico. Alucard now coming upstairs and trying to, actually now getting flashed by Starlight, but actually between the likes of Alucard and Menace, the flash didn't work at all. It didn't distract him in the least bit. Now we have a 3 versus 3 versus 3 between 19 Esports, Ghost Gaming, and Knights. All right, Ghosts are going to be waiting. 1 kill found from Jagger, 3 from Beowulf, and 4 from Spec. Kind of depends on where the circle is going to who is going to be given, and it's going to be Ghost Gaming. So they're going to need to, okay, so here they're going to have 19 Esports coming at them from one side and Knights coming onto the other. So they're going to have to kind of be multitasking here and keeping their eyes on both, but not spreading themselves so thin that they're going to be able to get overwhelmed by either team. All right, 19 Esports are still keeping their eyes onto the Knights, and I think they've identified that it might be easier to go a little bit closer to the Knights, but Coops does find Leon, Sam, and Juicy. He does see Coops just at the very, very top of this little ledgeway. All right, so Knights, they have the kind of advantages here as 19 Esports Coops focusing on each other, giving Ghost a little bit more opportunity to kind of third party onto either side of them. Menace coming down a little bit closer, getting right into the backyard of Ghost Gaming. I think here he's just finding the spot for his team, right? And he's telling them, hey, this is safe here. I'm within the circle here. You can meet and join up with me. But 19 Esports, they're looking to clear it out. They don't have all the information. Jagger finding Coops as he's trying to come down from up top. So Alucard wasting more time. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be able to do it, trying to go for the revive onto Coops as the circle is going to be closing on in. I don't know if Coops is going to have all the time to heal up to 100% and then trying to take a fight in the end circle. All right, Alucard, while he's buying some time for Coops, we got Juicy. Yeah, Coops, he only had time for a first aid, no boost whatsoever. And be watching for a ghost down below. Beowulf gets knocked by Menace as he was more focused onto Alucard, and Coops from up above. 19 Esports now taking this opportunity and pushing up a little bit closer onto the southern side of the circle, but still keeping their eyes onto the Knights from up top as they come down from the mountains, finally coming in a little bit closer. 3 versus 3 versus 3 still in effect. Grenade coming out. Jagger not letting Beowulf slip through his hands, hopefully this time, but he does get knocked anyway after getting the revive onto Beowulf. Spec finding Sam from the sideways, so now it's gonna be Beowulf focusing on the Knights, Spec focusing on the south onto 19 Esports. Definitely Jagger putting their team in a dangerous position. Beowulf getting actually shot from underneath the truck, but he knows exactly where some of the members are. Tosses a nade right into the face of the Knights, but just misses out. are coming back a little bit, needing to refresh a little bit, needing to regroup as he throws a smoke to give himself a little bit of cover within the doorway. Now we basically have, I don't know if they can be able to get the different angles here, but I think at this point Ghost is a little bit more focused on 19 Esports, the more immediate danger here. All three of these teams though have a hell of a lot of kills within the match. Now we have, okay, I'm gonna try to take a look up here. Spec getting knocked from Juicy. Now I think 19 Esports are going to be wrapping all the way around, but Sam getting immediately knocked from Alucard. So none of these teams allowing any player here any leeway. Nobody's able to really aggress onto the other. As Spec, he wants to come back to his teammates, but the more nades come out from the Knights, as now hopefully the Ghost is hoping that 19 Esports and the Knights will focus a little bit more attention onto each other. Coops waiting, just seeing Leon, knocking Leon. Now Coops needing to heal on up just a little bit once again, giving Ghost the opportunity to get back up onto their feet. Juicy, last lone player from 19 Esports, that's going to put the stop to the aggression from 19E. Beowulf gets the knock onto Coops as a play zone does take out Juicy, and another nade blows up in the face of Menace. Second Beowulf, we got Spec getting a finish onto Coops. Now he does see Alucard knocks one. Now it's going to be only Menace left alive from the Knights, as Ghost is going to be coming on, putting all the aggression, waiting until the very end. 5 HP as Spec gets the last kill of the match right in the face of Menace, and the winner chicken dinner does go to Ghost Gaming. Ghost with 6 kills from Spec, 4 from Beowulf, and 1 from Jagger for a total of 11 kills. Second place is Knights with a fair share of kills themselves, actually getting, what is that? Math, 14 kills. And then third place 19 Esports only got 1 kill. It was only came out from Sam. And but they're still able to get I think it's 10 points for placement and the 1 point for the kill. So that is going to be match number 4, Miramar going all out with Spec once again, just like in the last match. Spec is on fire tonight. He's definitely going to be one of the top fraggers at the end of the night. Best companion 2, getting 4 revives. Actually, it's Spec across the board. Finisher, best companion, and going all out. So Spec for sure MVP of the match. Okay, so that was super intense match number 4. I feel like at the very end I was just kind of like like nothing. I mean, it was just kind of back and forth, but it was a very long drawn out at the very end. Yeah, that was match number 4. I'm gonna go make match number 5, and I'll be right back with the scores. All right. So the scores for these are overall scores. We have Ghost now with 7 chicken dinners and 481 points and 234 total kills. Knights in second, 19 esports in third. So I mean, there's a pretty like huge gap between, I would say, second and third, and then after that they're all kind of, you know, then it's like within like 50 points until 7th place, and then it kind of, you know, then it is getting a little closer kind of down there. But here's the kind of bottom half as well. For like just tonight, the overall score, like just like tonight's scores, we have Ghost currently in first with 74 points and 1 chicken dinner. We have Mezexis in second with 60 points and 1 chicken dinner. And we have Knights in third, 4th Ogilvy, 5th Illuminati, and then 6th is 19 esports. So that's like just tonight, and we still have one more match. This one we have Group A sitting out, which is 19 esports. Hold on, it's 19 esports, Mezexis. Hold on. Excuse me. I like drink a ton of water just now as I'm like a little burpy. Knights, Ogilvy, 19 esports, and Mezexis. So wait, Knights, Mezexis, Ogilvy. Okay, so basically out of the top 6, 4 of those teams are not playing this match. So like there's a chance for say I think like Illuminati, that's 9 points below Ogilvy. They could definitely jump up ahead of them, but we shall see. So match number 5 now starting. So we are getting into it. This is going to be from Zarky all the way down to the military base. So I'm hoping I want to see a military base circle because we haven't seen it yet. But looks like we have, I'm gonna assume boarding protocol is probably gonna go out already. Yo is going to be going out as well. I see Knights, I think, or no, sorry, Knights is not going to be here. I was going to say they might be going to their like military base drop instead of Yaznai because it's a little bit closer, but we don't actually have them in the match right now. So I'm just going to leave it on the map for a little bit just so you guys can see where these teams are all going. Wall Street Bets doing their kind of big split to the north of Pachinki. And we have the hit list. So we last in the other Ringo match, we had like the hit list, we had the Panthers all kind of very close to each other and very pure. And we actually saw, I think it was the Panthers that actually it was able to kill one member of the Panthers at the very beginning because he was going for kind of what he thought was an open car right on the side of the road. Let's see. I don't really see anything too striking right now. Actually, we just had, oh my god, too bad Passion Fruit isn't in this match because this would have been, you know, them just eating Passion Fruit and Knights. If they went Yaznai and Stauber, they would just be sitting, just chilling in this circle. But yeah, it's gonna be a far northeastern, so no chance for my military base circle plane or circle at all. But yeah, it's gonna be all the way up there. Maybe we'll have a, you know, once in a blue moon I see kind of like a Stauber finish all the way up there. Maybe that'll happen this time around. We have Mr. Killswitch. So Axat, they are, I know I keep saying it, but at some point I'm hoping that Axat will actually be able to win a match because this is our 50th match, guys, and them being the only team who hasn't won a single match in 50 games, either they're trolling or they're actually bad. But no, I'm just kidding with them. Like every time I like the last couple of days, like Killswitch has been streaming a lot, and every time I'm just like, hey Jason, hey, ask John 7, like when are you guys gonna finally win a match? So that is exit for you guys. You know, if they get in their cars and kind of rotate up into the middle, like around Godson, they could have kind of first pickings of the center for sure. This northwestern side is giving me a little bit of heartburn because we got Syndicate all the way across already. Why is Syndicate here? Because Syndicate is usually Down in the crates area, not so close to Pro Era, unless they're looking to push a fight onto this team. But Verratti looks like they're going to be just in this compound, grabbing their cars, and I think just now looking to rotate into the circle, finally, this far, far northeastern circle. All right, Ghost Gaming, your victors from the previous match. Mr. Spec, looting an FPP. You know he's a tryhard. You know players are tryhards when they loot an FPP. But Spec currently looking to take that #1 top fragger slot for tonight. Illuminati still in the school area. Got Mango, AZ, Lanlan, and Kinghua. No worries of Team Boring Protocol landing with them and trying to grief them in the match. Lazarus still with 3. Telly, he's at work and he's closing tonight. He sent us a photo, but I told him, like, Telly's a dad, right? I was like, what are you gonna teach your newborn son how to play PUBG so he can sub for you? But anyway, Lazarus 3-man this time around. Joey a little bit more to the right of Razak, getting a little bit further into the circle as Illuminati are starting to get in their cars, and they're going to be starting to rotate into the circle. So they're good for them. They're not really going to, there's literally nobody between them and the center of the circle. So they're going to have kind of free pickings here. Maybe, just maybe, Godsent and them might end up a little bit close to each other, but Godsent, they might be kind of swarming around Mansion and maybe looking to put their little white picket fence around there and call that place home. Era. Lolo driving a trike. I would not be trusting Lolo driving skills with a trike with me in the side. But Era, Sosa, gonna be sitting right there. Both of them gonna be starting to rotate away. Unfortunately for them, they decided now to do it instead of earlier when Syndicate was right there, because they definitely, for sure, especially with a trike, probably would have lost one doing a drive-by past Team Syndicate. Beowulf also a ton of kills tonight. Looks like now they're starting to rotate all in unison. HH24 Jagger, Beowulf, and Spec. Big spender Spec, but he's gonna be a little bit behind the rest of them, flipping his car. Looks like Lan, a player from Illuminati, a little bit slow on the rotate, having now Ghost chasing him, but he's calling out for help. He's like, hey, everyone else, can you please shoot at this team that's following me, that's chasing me? They don't really have any information of exactly who this is. Axat, they're going to be coming up from Milta area, and they hear some gunshots. Now they're getting a little excited, and now they kind of, we want a little piece of this action too. Jay's still kind of rotating around this mountain, and J7 a little bit tagged up, maybe from Ghost Gaming, but looks like Lan, the one that was trying to get away from this team. Now Spec able to just get clean shots on him, shooting out one of the tires off the back of the buggy. Is getting shot from either which direction. All the tires are gone from the buggy, and he gets knocked from Jagger. Immediately goes for the flush with the full kitted Joker M4. So that's gonna be first blood of the, or first blood, is it? First blood of the match. Ghost Gaming collecting up on a kill. Beowulf just barely seeing Mango, quickly getting in his bike, I think, returning a couple shots onto Mango, maybe doing just a little bit of damage onto the car that Mango is hiding behind, but he's keeping his until we got basically a 3-way fight here. Jagger finishing off, actually now getting a knock onto Except Polo, so this is gonna be the push from them. Hopefully Ghost, and we have the hit list actually driving in the background. I don't know if they're gonna be wanting a piece of this too, but Jagger getting a ton of kills here. I told Spec, get a decent amount of kills this game and maybe break the 20 kill mark. J7, they want to go for the save on Polo. He's a little bit up ahead of them. He's gonna be right behind into a shack. Hold on, but J7 looks like just going for the revive onto Polo as Jagger doing insane work throwing it into the shack. So Jagger, he's got all the kills so far on Ghost Gaming. Really great stuff from Jagger. Now it's going to be Illuminati focusing, and Bale coming a little bit closer. Now nading AZ. Ghost Gaming, they're still having the momentum from the last match, not looking to stop at any time soon, as Axet, you know, they're kind of in shambles here. Only got 2 up as Polo was thirsted. Jayway is still bleeding out in the shack, actually now onto the roadside, as he's kind of like begging for a revive from one of his teammates if they can get to him. Jagger now pushing up. Now it looks like they've isolated one of the members of Illuminati. That's going to be King Hua this time, and actually getting the knock onto Spec as HHQ4 seeing Mango and making sure he doesn't come up a little bit higher, but Spec going to be taken out of the match. No chance in getting a kill, as King Hua is going to be getting knocked and flushed out. So Mango now getting shot from the side from HHQ4. So that's going to be Ghost Gaming collecting 5 kills so far, but losing Spec. Like Axet were given the opportunity while Ghost was focusing on Illuminati to get the revive onto Jay. Now we have the circle about to, you know, coming down this time a little bit more centered onto Godsent, the Hitless, and Ghost Gaming. Axet Jay coming back into the shack right next to where he did get knocked before. As Godsent looks like they're being gifted a crate. Jagger 3 kills so far. Looks like just doing a hell of a lot of damage onto the buggy that Axet has parked in the distance. As Pro Era is going to be surrounding the Hitless, going to be coming in close as well. Jayway trying to find some of the members of Ghost Gaming. Ghost just kind of full sending it at this point. Peaceful finding Illusions Panthers as Jay. He's got HHQ4. He's got 2 bright below me. Got another grenade from HHQ4. This time around, Jay bleeding out. Second time getting knocked in this match. Going to be bleeding out much, much faster. It's going to be up to Kill Switch and J7. But I think they're going to be looking to disengage from this direction. Not wanting to be under the onslaught of fires from Ghost Gaming, as HHQ4 finishing the kill onto Jay. The Panthers pushing up now onto B-Town. Grave taking heavy damage from Moso with the grenade, throwing it up on top, and that was a perfect one, landing right next to him. Now it's going to be Drake and Isajat. Drake just waiting, using the smoke for a little bit of cover. He's hearing, staying oh so quiet, trying to hear the footsteps here, and he actually spraying through the smoke. Finds Moso, just using his ears to pinpoint exactly where he is at. Right above him, it's going to be only one. He's going to be pushing up, and he didn't actually wait for his teammate, as they're going to be now pushing up below him and under. But Drake, I think it's a little confusing at this point, but they're able to kind of isolate the Panthers to the outside now, as Isajat has a grenade, cancels it at the last second, coming on the outside and trying to find a different angle onto the Panthers. The Panthers, after they've gotten their health back up to about 100%. Now it's going to be Jaguar. So this just continues just to rotate around and around each other within the same compound, trying to just give each other the slip, just trying to find an area of weakness potentially. I'll say Jaguar just doing a 360. Another 360 as Illusions is knocked this time around. Sees what was the plan of action there, as he's, you know, driving the buggy, no way to shoot back at these other players, and Legal is just overwhelmed by B-Town. So your last place team on the overall standings able to collect up 4 kills and not a single casualty. Great start for B-Town. Pro Era, they've got, I think Dope just kind of in the distance, able to collect 1 kill up onto Dope, as they, you know, came in just a little bit too close, along with Syndicate coming in from the George Crates area. Now a little bit of retaliation, knocking Pro Era in return, but as a 3-man, they're not going to push up on this one. They're not going to make the aggression, and the circle actually hard shifts over to the western side, just barely within the school area. Rad actually getting knocked to Ghost Gaming. So Syndicate, Teddy C and Salty. Now Teddy C getting knocked, only Salty left alive, running into the very, very midst of Ghost Gaming versus Verati, knocking Beowulf. There are 2 players knocked right now from Ghost, as he's going to go finish off those kills onto Jagger and Beowulf. HH24 kind of in the distance, maybe a little bit too far away, and not going to advance on it, even though there's only 1 player left alive. HHG4, I think you hear a couple of cards. It's going to be Godsent rotating right next to him. And HG4 hoping that they don't stop his general. Actually, he hears one coming in a little bit closer, but it's definitely a full team. Doesn't want to draw the attention of them as Ghost. HG4, last one up from his team, and Godsent. I mean, they're sending it now. I think they've isolated some of the members of the hit list as Nemesis just crashing up onto the wall. Doesn't land any of the shots onto the hit list. The Bob and Billa just barely inside. This is the hit list. This is your top ranking team from yesterday. He's going to be just biding his time as the rest of his team needs to come in just a little bit closer. Syndicate finding some of the members of Wall Street Bets off the back of the fight against Ghost Gaming. Nade in hand, tosses a one, catches on fire. His clothes very flammable, actually. Grenades all over the place. Trey landing a grenade right onto Jat G and stopping the push from them. Bob and Miller taking this time to hopefully get a first aid, but he needs to get a little bit closer, a little bit more into the smoke as he does get a knock onto Trey, but get knocked in return. Now it's gonna be Trickster off in the distance. He was so separated from his team. It's gonna be Godsent to reap the benefits of it, and Trickster actually getting shot in the back. I mean, he can't go onto the other side because there's a whole different team waiting in that direction. That's going to be Team B-Town. Pro Era finally coming up on the southeastern side. All right. Now HHG4 just avoiding all the action, and smart for him because he's the last player left alive from his team. Salt does find Trickster, so that's going to be the hit list. Putting the Reign of Terror down. That's going to be Godsent to finish off them. Pro Era up on Shelter Hill, looking down onto the onto B-Town, actually. And B-Town, there's still four. They're a little bit split up between OP Dip and the Compound. They have a lot of time here as we're waiting for the circle. We only have 10 teams left. I think last game of the night, these players are ready to go. So Lolo just seeing if he can do a lot of damage onto the vehicles of B-Town and take it away from them. For the remainder of the match. Circle shifting back on over to Syndicate. And where Xset, the last two players are just waiting, J7 and Kill Switch. So we're going to see probably Dope kind of send it into the circle, maybe trying to find a way in. Lazarus G3, last one left alive from his team. As Ghost Gaming, HHG4, nice. I'm loving these new skins, by the way, but very, very easy to spot out. And I think it's pretty easy to identify what players are, what team you're fighting against, just based on the skins that you can see in the distance era. Now just rolling in a little bit closer as Dope just find a knock onto Syndicate. I mean, are they going to potentially grass onto this one? They do finish out Salty, actually. So Dope, they have a one-man, and they were paying attention to the kill feed. They know that they have a one-man advantage over Syndicate. But I think they're going to find this little dip here right in the fields of Yasnaya and call this place home and not move from it for the rest of this circle. We've got Yo just waiting on the edges. We have Godsent actually being overwhelmed by Pro Era, sending it in, taking out multiple members of Godsent. So the only two left alive are going to be Nemesis and Trey. That they were a little bit too split, I think, for how late in the game this is. Nemesis not able to trace his shots onto Lolo, but they were able to identify where two of the members were, full send them as a four-man team, and then take them out. So Nemesis and Trey, I think they might be have to be wary that Pro Era might be turning their attention to crash up onto Walmart now. All right, Spray meeting with the rest of his team. Just stopping just in front of them. Four-man still left alive from Yo. So a lot of these teams, I would say maybe, yeah, like 3 or 4 of these teams only have 1 or 2 players left, while the remainder of the lobby still has all 4 players up. Team Boring Protocol in the blue buildings, just on the very edge of the circle across the field from Yasnaya. B-Town is still, I mean, they got the 4 kills onto the Panthers after their little driving expedition around the compound. Now we have Godsent still 2-man in the warehouses. Trey just on the outside, just in case they crash. And like usually when people crash, they're looking in the warehouses, not really looking around the the broken wall surrounding them. Pro Era still waiting on the edges. We have the circle about to close in now. Dope getting very just inching closer and closer onto Team Syndicate, but Flawless actually getting crashing up onto the hay bale by Team Boring Protocol. I mean, he hears the shots. He knows there's a full team there. I think he's looking to maybe gatekeep, prevent this team. Maybe. I mean, what was the point of driving close to that? I think maybe just seeing if there wasn't a full team, seeing if he can, pick off some kills and just gather the information of exactly how many players were on that side. Rad actually gets blown up. Why were they moving? They didn't need to move anywhere from this compound. I mean, sure they had Nesquik on kind of the other side, but it was just I think that was an unnecessary death there, as the circle wasn't even forcing them to really move anywhere yet. Circle shifting now to the eastern side, giving it to Yo. HHG4, a lot of solos on this western side need to move once again. It's going to be B-Town to kind of full send it onto Team X at this time, though. J7 seeing the drive-by happening here. Graves stopping just shy, and J7 getting shot up above by Issa just sprinting after he got that kill onto X set. B-Town continuing around. Issajat actually, what is going on with Issajat? There's some spectating error there, but where is Issajat? Okay, so he's on his, I don't know. I just spectating glitches, guys. Par for the course. Boring Protocol came in out of the blue stacks, found themselves very, very close to Team Dope. Now coming up right next to him. So Nesquik having Hallow being knocked here with Boring Protocol. We have Russell right next to him and a grenade coming out from Russell to knock him and finish the deal onto Kalu. All right, Flossie's got a little bit of space between him and the rest of Team Boring Protocol. If he had one grenade, he could throw it right down into the little dip of where it is. And yeah, he's got it. He's gonna be cooking it. Can he do it as Pro Era? They actually do finish out Godsent in the distance, sending it into Walmart area. All right, Fate now driving around. They're kind of just surrounding the solo member of Team Dope. G3, again, G3 and HHG4, two solos from their teams, finding themselves on the same edge of the circle together. As we have Team Boring Protocol focusing their attention onto Team Yo, just over to their right-hand side. We have Spring actually in the match this time around, making sure they do not forget about Dope right on close to them. I think it's going to be Fame Boys kind of surrounding him. Yeah, he does just see Fame, he just sees Flawless, giving the calls. I think he's being like the distraction on this team. He's giving the calls to the rest of the team like, hey, somebody throw a nade right in between those two buggies. There's one snake just laying prone right in the middle. All right, Flawless still waiting. He does not dare crouch or stand up, as Fate is also getting shot from the side from Yo. So, I mean, there's the one thing keeping Flawless left alive is that Team Boring Protocol is being a little bit distracted here, as the last member of Syndicate actually knocking one, as they were so tunnel visioned onto the last member of Dope that Variety was able to take out Fames and go for the flush. I'm trying to find Fate. There's nobody quite there. HHG4 actually getting just within the circle. As the circle continues to hard shift away from them, going this time to Pro Era. They're going to have so much control in this B-Town. They're going to be looking to, encroach a little bit higher or a little bit closer, and just seeing some of the members of Pro Era in the distance. HHG4 getting found out by Syndicate. Syndicate actually doing really, really nice. Just, like not drawing a whole lot of attention to him, but finally does get taken out. So HHG4 out in 7th position. G3, Gabby from Lazarus. Kudos to him for surviving for so long in a plume of smoke, as all the shots Boring Protocol turning their attention onto Team Yo. It's a Jat finding Variety. Team Boring Protocol, Fate now knocked this. So Boring Protocol, they have a second. Now the circle is closing in. Fate is knocked. not in the position they want to be in to try to get, what was the point of that smoke? Threw down the smoke, I would guess wasted it, stopped in the middle of the circle. This vehicle is about to blow as his Kaisuke is getting shot at in the back from everywhere from Yo. All right, this one is a huge ass finding from Pro Era, finding a member of B-Town, but Drake actually getting exploded by the vehicle right where, you know, he crashed up on the tree, he got exploded. He dearly paid for it. It's going to be only Grave left alive in the background, hoping to crawl a little bit closer to Isajat. All right, Pro Era losing Sosa. Spraying through the smoke where he knows that some of the members of B-Town are at, but Pro Era, the more impending danger is going to be Yo up on the northern side. As they're just creeping a little bit closer and closer. Multiple members of B-Town are knocked as of now. Grave and Isajat just barely getting up. Yo still, I mean, this is like the last part of this game is just, it's just very, very slow in terms of we're all kind of just on the edge of our seats waiting for the fight to finally erupt, somebody to do something. G3, he's got Flawless solo versus Slow. Who can finish them off? He just tosses a nade right onto Flawless, gets him hella low and does do the finish on it. So doing the dirty, having the patience to throw the nade instead of just, you know, just trying to take the straight 1v1 with the shots. All right, G3, now it's his time to get a little bit closer, playing a little solo. Throwing the smoke just barely within. He's actually not quite within the circle, but using this as his opportunity to just get in a little bit closer. I think he recognizes there's a whole team right in front of him, so he can't just freely run across the street and stop quickly hitting the deck as soon as he gets out of the car, so Yo cannot blow him up. Instead, Pro Era, they're going to be coming over a little bit. 4 players still left, or 4 teams still left alive. Circle shifting into the middle. Pro Era, they've got it. They just need to prevent Yo from creeping in any closer. And G3 just needs to give everyone the slip as Lolo actually sees G3 across the circle. And Isajat is now up to 5 kills within this match. They've got the lower ground. I thought B-Town was in kind of a, I mean, at one point, every single person on the team was knocked except for one, and I was kind of counting them out. But now they've got the slow side of the circle. It's up to everyone else to come in just a little bit, and there's nowhere, literally, it's just an open field. There's nowhere left to hide. Maybe a little crate to hide behind, but Pro Era now has Lolo knocked. Fishy and Lucy now have Yo advancing up onto them as, oh my goodness, a third party from B-Town as Yo was taking all of their shots onto Lucy. Takes out Pro Era in 3rd place. All right, Spray. Now Iris getting knocked to Drake. They have a little bit of a higher ground, a little bit of an advantage that they can oversee down onto B-Town. But I mean, as soon as that overhang ends, it's going to be B-Town, you know, completely in the open for B-Town to take all the shots at them. Grave is actually going to be pretty prone, pretty close. I think just barely out of sight from Yo, as Isajat has kind of the long range distance here. Isajat a little bit spread out, you know, prone like this. Just see one does get the knock onto Jay. He sees Spray right on next to him, but he's waiting for Jay to crawl him back a little bit, try to go for a revive. They have just a couple more seconds left as Iris, they have a knock on to Drake. Okay, so the numbers are in favor of Yo, 2 versus 4, but B-Town, they're the ones with the circle, and they're just waiting for Yo to make a move. Okay, Isajat just behind a tree. Great, just really close on his belly. If he has, yeah, he's got a couple of grenades. I think he's waiting for them to advance. I think they have no idea that Grave is here. Switching over to a red dot. Seeing where they are, Yo, and they're getting antsy now. They're throwing the smokes. They're trying to get a little bit closer. Grave, this could be his opportunity for sure. He now comes out, but the smokes are going to be blocking all of his view. Has a grenade. I would have cooked that just a little bit longer as Drake finally does bleed out. Okay, the Molotov actually the secondary utility used by Grave is the one to finish. Get the knock actually onto one player of Yo. Now we have Spring, a little bit of a delay, but Spring now, so they got the knock onto Grave. That's gonna be Isajat in the distant. Grave actually getting no, Grave is still alive. 5 kills now so found. He is in the faces of Yo. Isajat is providing the support from the long distance, making sure that he can kind of more, you know, Yo cannot just freely stand up and shoot down onto Grave. right, Dre does trying to find Jay, comes actually right on behind, spray out into the blue zone, taking a little bit of damage. Jay does go down, and B-Town, the team that was at the very, very end of the leaderboards, finally they get the chicken dinner that they really, really needed this match. And look how many kills they have, 15 kills and the chicken dinner. Second place is Yo with I would expect them to have a couple more kills than that, but still 5 kills. Era in third place with 6 kills. So very, very drawn out kind of ending to that match, but that is going to be it for match number 5. You guys can see Isajat getting 7 of his team's kills, and Verratti getting 2, and then Gray from B-Town getting being the finisher, being the last kill or getting the last kill of the match. So that was me losing my voice and rambling for 3.5 hours, but thanks for watching me solo cast this. But yeah, so I mean, this is day 10 of our league. We have 19 days in total. So all next week it's going to be Red Eye is coming back. He's going to be streaming them because I will be actually home in Wisconsin for the second half of the week. We have a wedding to attend to, so I will not be here. But so we have day 11 through 15 next week, and then day 16 through, and then day 19 actually ends on Thursday, September 30th. Will be the following week, and that will be the very last week. So I'm losing my voice, guys. But as soon as the scores are done, I'm gonna go ahead and show them to you guys. But that was definitely just, I think, just really insane of a day. I think we had some teams that really did flop, and then some teams that did really, really well tonight. Ason said Gabby's sweating. Coop said kill switch your watch. I can't talk anymore, guys. Coop said kill switch your washed, and then kill switch said learning from Coops, learning from the best or the worst, which is Coops. But yeah, so X said I'm still rooting for you guys to get a win. But according to them, the goal is to not get a win this entire league. But anyway, the scores are almost done. The scores are done now. So I will post the overall scores on my Twitter, MonicaXGG, and then Instagram, MonicaXGGS, later tonight when I finish the graphics. But for overall, so for today's scores, for overall scores, if you guys want to see them, I'll pull them up. So overall scores are first place, Ghost Gaming with 488 points and 7 chicken dinners. Finally, actually, they just got more kills than Knights. Second place is Knights with 237 kills. Because for I think the last at least like 3 days, the Knights were leading Ghost in kills. But Knights in second place with 423, and then 19 Esports in third with 161 kills and 355 points and 4 chicken dinners. So I'm just going to kind of scroll through them so you guys can see. X set there with 0 chicken dinners, womp womp. Yeah. You guys can see the rest. So B-Town actually winning. Did they win that? Yeah, they won that last one. They actually they went from 20th into 18th place, guys. And now Yo is going to be sitting at the very, very bottom of our leaderboards, and then Pro Era right above them. So here is our leaderboards, overall leaderboards, including all the matches tonight and all the nights prior. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm gonna go drink some tea because my voice is like absolutely gone. But yeah, Cassie and Ten's having bad Wi-Fi. But anyway, stick around for the raid. Usually I would hang out with you guys a little bit more, but my throat is like actually dying. But so have a great night, guys, and I will see you guys back Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern time on Red Eye's channel. Bye.